A White Lotus actress in the entertainment industry who was despised by thousands, was sabotaged and died from a single strike, but was possessed by a soul from the apocalyptic world. The White Lotus's body now contains the soul of a female warrior. She decides to accept fate's gift, fighting villains and paparazzi. WeChat transfer 300 yuan to watch the White Lotus's revenge story. And he, Bo Ibai, the empire's youngest heartthrob actor, a disciplined, top-tier, cold and handsome celebrity. In an accident, he was severely injured. Gong Jiu descended like a sun goddess, performing a beauty saves hero scene, saved him with apocalyptic powers. Thus begins the story of the Kusa female warrior and the cold actor. What wonderful developments await. WeChat transfer 300 yuan to savor the details. At the 75th Jijiguagua Film Festival, amidst flashing spotlights and waves of people, a stretched Lincoln Imperial arrives. The youngest Grand Slam actor ever, Mao Ibai, makes a dazzling entrance. Screams from young fans pierce through the crowd's ears. Ibai stylishly signs his name. The next guest is about to appear. The big screen starts flashing photos of a rising popular actress, the elegant actor Gong Jiu. Controversy brought both popularity and infamy. Rumors of sleeping with sponsors spread instantly, but Gong Jiu doesn't appear. The manager below goes crazy trying to intercept people. Where did my precious go? Not answering calls either. Meanwhile, at an abandoned factory, Gong Jiu is surrounded by kidnappers. He calls his mommy, says the kidnappers want 1,500 in ransom. Suddenly they decide to kill him. His mother only sees him as a cash cow. Money only goes in, not out. She hangs up as soon as she hears about money. Gong Jiu hurriedly calls his friend and ran. Unexpectedly, she's a fake friend. Not only refuses to lend money, but also scolds Gong Jiu. The yellow-haired thug, seeing Gong Jiu fail to borrow money, angrily throws the phone away. If there's no money, we'll take something else. Tonight, brothers get to taste something fresh, first time with a female celebrity. As the yellow hair approaches, Gong Jiu strikes hard at his legs. Yellow hair collapses in pain. The bald guy and jacket man beside him rush to chase the fleeing Gong Jiu. They strike at his head. Using too much force, Gong Jiu falls straight down. No sound. They're terrified. The boss only wanted them to film Gong Jiu's scandal, not kill him. No choice now but to find a place to dispose of the body. Just as Baldy calls the boss, Gong Jiu suddenly stands up, body glowing green, takes down all three in a few moves. He grabs Baldy's stick, about to stab his stomach. Fortunately, at the critical moment, Baldy's phone falls out. The bright smartphone catches Gong Jiu's attention. Smartphone, January 2nd, 2023. Eyes widening in disbelief. This is the pre-apocalyptic era. Did I time travel? Scratch his head. How bizarre. Coming to his senses, he smiles coolly, looks at the sweating Baldy. Really not used to this. Remember, the law saved you. Su Ran knocks Baldy unconscious. He looks in the mirror. Never thought that I, the mighty apocalyptic female warrior, miraculously revived before the apocalypse, merged with the memories of this body sharing the same name. He understood his current identity, a blessing in disguise. It feels good to live again, though this Gong Jiu had bad luck. Don't know who he offended, but since I, the apocalyptic Gong Jiu, am here, I'll settle these debts for you. I'll live the rest of your life well. After these words, Gong Jiu smiled contentedly in the mirror. The two completely merged, becoming one. He was a valiant, decisive female general who struck fear into enemies' hearts. An accident transported him to the 22nd century, becoming a star, a D-list controversial celebrity everyone despised. Before anyone could react, he easily jumped onto a 10-meter building, single-handedly KO'd action stars, shocking everyone on set. Even the cold top actor became his long-term meal ticket, easily rising to top-tier status. At the 75th Imperial Film Festival, the scene was lively. Please welcome our heavyweight guest Bo Ibai. As the stretched Rolls-Royce arrives, fans crowd both sides for photos. A handsome man wearing sunglasses slowly steps out. Female fans scream, "Demon God is so handsome." After signing autographs, the host announces the next guest. The big screen shows Gong Jiu's image. Bo Ibai looks up. He's this year's rising popular actor. Many below instantly start questioning. This scandal-ridden celebrity is here to grab attention at the film festival. What's wrong with the organizers? Actually arranging him with our god Bo. Meanwhile, Gong Jiu's manager anxiously makes calls. Where did he go at this time? Not answering calls. However, in an abandoned factory, "Mom, I've been kidnapped. They'll kill me if you don't pay." However, Cold words came from the other end. You plague, better off dead. Stop disturbing my life. Clearly, even his mother had become his hater. Another call goes out, hello? And ran, I'm in trouble. Can you lend me 15 million? Before finishing, the call ends. He slaps him across the face. For a celebrity, can't even get this much money. Let's brothers have some fun instead. Gong Ju knees the man's groin forcefully, making a crushing sound. The previously arrogant thug rolls on the ground in pain. Beat him hard. Before Gong Jiu could run 2 meters, the big man behind grabs a steel bar and strikes his head violently. With a loud bang, that hit sent him to heaven. The boss just wanted compromising photos. Ask if dead people's compromising photos work. While the thugs discuss aftermath, they don't notice a green light slowly entering Gong Jiu's body. His eyes slowly emit green light. Suddenly, Gong Jiu, who was lying down, mysteriously sits up. By the time the calling Baldy reacts, it's too late. What's happening? The 200-pound strong man is so easily choked by Gong Jiu's hands. Baldy picks up the steel bar, apparently having faked death to trick Gong Jiu. Looking over, the charging Baldy raises his foot to kick, but gets kicked flying 8 meters away instead, slammed hard against the wall before stopping. At this moment, Gong Jiu grabbed the steel bar that had just been kicked away, quickly approached the bald man. So you're the one who hit me. Gong Jiu raised the iron bar high, taking an attacking stance. Wow, so fast. Oh, please spare me. The bald man was so scared his remaining hair fell out. Suddenly, a phone vibration sounded. With a clang, Gong Jiu thrust the steel bar into the concrete floor. Looking at the glowing smartphone, Gong Jiu finally realized. Combining with this body's memories, I've transmigrated. The bald man nearby collapsed in fear. He had just been a hair's breadth from death. Gong Jiu, with recovered memories, slowly spoke. I, the Empire's female war god, reduced to being bullied by such small fry. You're lucky, kid. The law saved you. Killing is illegal here, so I'll just knock you out. Since I've been brought to this strange place, transmigrated into this body of someone my age. Rest in peace. Gong Jiu walked to the glass window. Neither of us had good fortune. Let me live out the rest of your life for you. I'll collect all those debts for you one by one. The Empire's female war god just transmigrated from the apocalypse to modern times. The original body had fallen so low as to be bullied by thugs. Green light emanated from her entire body. She quickly dealt with these small-time criminals. Meanwhile, Bo Ibai was returning by car after attending the film festival. Mr. Bo, I prepared these snacks especially for you. You haven't eaten all day. To put it nicely, it's self-discipline. You should get checked for anorexia. Bo Ibai clearly showed no interest in the food. If you won't eat, I will. By the way, Mr. Bo, about Gong Jiu's absence today. I see many people discussing it online. There's a lot of negative news about him lately. Everyone in the industry avoids him. Seemed proper on the surface, but doing such things behind the scenes. Shut up, don't gossip about others in front of me. The driver noticed something unusual. Boss, a car has been following us. Looks like those stalker fans from before. Lose them. Yes. At this time, Gong Jiu's manager finally got through on the phone. God, you missed such an important event today. That was a chance to share the stage with Bo Ibai. Ah, I'm starving. Unexpectedly, Gong Jiu was so indifferent about sharing the stage with Bo Ibai, only thinking about replenishing energy. On the other end of the phone, the manager was furious enough to spit blood. Suddenly, bang! Sister Lawn, I'll call you back. A stretched luxury car crashed through the overpass guardrail, falling from the 30-meter high bridge. Thick smoke rolled at the scene. It was Bo Ibai's vehicle. The car was full of broken glass. Bo Ibai inside was covered in wounds, his fate unknown. Ah, so cold. A long piece of glass was stuck in his chest. Am I going to die here today? Gong Jiu stared blankly at the unconscious man in the car. His body was covered in what looked like tomato juice. Without immediate rescue, he would certainly die within 10 minutes. However, the car door was firmly stuck. If it were before, she would have been helpless. But now it's different. He barehandedly removed the car door in front of him and threw it away. You're quite handsome. Lucky you met me. Gong Jiu raised his right hand. A green healing power flowed from his palm, then pressed it against the man's chest. He secretly felt relieved that his special ability was still there. But this body was too weak. He could barely hold on. 30 minutes later, the man gradually regained consciousness. Was it Gong Jiu who saved me? Bo Ibai looked at the woman in his arms, unable to figure out what kind of person she was. Could she really be as bad as the internet rumors say? Suddenly, a growling sound came from Gongjia's stomach. Ah, I'm so hungry. Give me something to eat. Before Bo Ibai could hear clearly what he was saying, Gongjio smelled a sweet and sweaty scent. Gongjio instinctively took a bite, then bit hard on the protruding area. Bo Ibai, who had just regained consciousness, fainted again from the pain. When he woke up again, he was in K-City Hospital. The assistant looked at his handsome face. Thankfully, his face wasn't damaged. We were really lucky this time. Bo Ibai put on his clothes, revealing the bite mark on his chest. When the assistant saw the bite mark on Bo Ibai's chest, he was stunned. When did this iron tree bloom? At that moment, Bo Ibai's mind was filled with images of the female rogue sucking on his chest yesterday, just like a little hunting dog. As he thought about it, he couldn't help but laugh. This feeling wasn't bad at all. Female war god's first day in modern times. The cold and secretive uncle who was scared into a car accident due to the original body being too weak. Using magic to save people depleted all energy. Fell asleep on Bo Ibai's chest. Bo Ibai thought he had encountered a goddess, but didn't expect to meet a female rogue. When Gongjio woke up again, her stomach was growling with hunger, then immediately bit Bo Ibai in a special place. Bo Ibai, who had just regained consciousness, fainted again from the pain. After arriving at the hospital, the assistant found Bo Ibai staring at the bite mark on his chest, smiling foolishly. You really do have a woman outside. Why didn't you report it to the manager in time? Don't know if it will affect tomorrow's shooting schedule. Your reaction seems a bit abnormal. Bo Ibai pushed away the assistant's big face. Don't worry about handsome guy's business. When can I leave the hospital? Okay, I'll go check right away. Bo Ibai came to the window. The hospital entrance was indeed full of reporters. Hey, you're going the wrong way. The assistant grabbed Bo Ibai's hand. You're not going to look for Gongjio, are you? If reporters catch you, you won't be able to explain. Gongjio saved us. I want to see how she's doing now. After saying that, he was about to go find his little hunting dog. At this time, Gongjio was still eating. This was already his 40th serving. Manager Sister Lan was chattering nonstop beside him, completely unaware that Gongjio only had eyes for food. The food in this world is amazing. Remember the global low-end climate environment nutrition? Chicken was humans' only source of energy. Delicacies like broccoli, he had only seen in ancient books before. These are really so delicious. At this moment, Sister Lan finally couldn't take it anymore. How can you still eat? Look at your current situation. The company is about to shelve you. Can you please take this seriously? I am taking it seriously. Can I have another serving? Let me think of a solution after I'm full. Looking at the mountain of plates, Sister Lan truly suspected Gongjio had been hit stupid. Gongjio took the tray, grabbed the chicken leg, and took a big bite. This legendary chicken leg is so delicious. Bo Ibai, peeking from outside the door, unconsciously swallowed. As someone with mild anorexia, he usually had no interest in any delicacies. But seeing his little hunting dog eating so heartily, he actually felt an urge to eat. Then he pushed open the door and entered. Sister Lan was shocked. Oh my god. Excuse me, Godbo. I'm here to thank Gongjio. Thank you very much for yesterday's wine. You're welcome. Their conversation stunned Sister Lan. Am I dreaming? The two of them were like Adonis facing Medusa. Gongjio's aura was actually on par with Godbo's. They sized each other up simultaneously. Such a pretty puppy wouldn't survive a few days in the apocalypse. To repay you, name your condition. I'll try my best to fulfill it. Instead, Gongjio remained immersed in their fantasy, continuously scanning Bo Ibai's body, letting out a dark laugh. Bo Ibai's heart skipped a beat, suddenly remembering yesterday's scene. Indeed a pervert. So he coldly said, not including meat sausage. Then reimburse my meals for a month. The manager's Sister Lan was shocked by Gongjio's answer. What nonsense are you talking about? This is insulting my idol. Okay. I actually agreed. Sister Lan looked incredulous. So the two added each other as friends. Looking at the husky avatar, he quickly changed the note to little hunting dog. Gongjio curiously leaned over, but thankfully Bo Ibai was quick enough, making Gongjio miss. Gongjio asked what he was laughing at just now. Their eyes met unexpectedly, making the cold Bo Ibai shyly turn his head away, while Gongjio only noticed that his wound seemed to have healed, then patted the man's chest and gave it a rub. Not bad. Worth my energy saving you. Manager Sister Lan instantly broke down. Oh God, Gongjio, what are you doing? Stop a euro. Suddenly, there was noise at the door. Several reporters with live streams barged in. Help! What is Gongju doing? None of them expected this awkward scene to be caught by paparazzi. Sister Lan quickly reacted and rushed forward. Don't film. Don't film. Top star Bo Ibai, to thank his savior for saving his life, personally came to the savior's hospital room, willing to become the savior's long-term meal ticket. Unexpectedly, the savior turned out to be a huge pervert, either biting or touching, while Gongjio was immersed in the silky feeling. Suddenly, a reporter doing a live stream barged in. The suspect's strange actions were caught on the live stream. The live stream instantly went viral. Gongjia's assistant, get your hands off. Some commenters noted they looked good together. Everyone wanted to hear Bo's explanation. Bo stepped forward and asked, "Who are you?" The yellow-haired reporter replied, "I'm an entertainment reporter from such." Lanjia immediately tried to stop them. Reporters can't just barge into patient rooms. Bo Ibai stood up, about to do something, but Gongjio, shorter than him, stood up and blocked him. Can't let Sugar Daddy handle such small matters. What if he gets upset and my long-term meal ticket runs away? Lanjia tried blocking the camera but was pushed away by the man. She knocked over Gongjia's unfinished meal. Fortunately, Gongjio caught Lanjin by the waist in time. Their eyes met. Are you okay? Wow, Gongjia's gaze is so cool. Usually Gongjio had a timid, rookie image. Manager Lanjia was surprised by Gongjia's charm. Is this the same Gongjio I know? Food was scattered on the floor from the collision, right in view of the livestream camera. The livestream viewers criticized Gongjio again. That appetite is like a bottomless pit. Gongjio immediately used a grappling move, pinned the yellow-haired reporter to the ground. Gongjio seemed weak and indeed wasn't using much strength, but the reporter was already sweating in pain, his arm dislocated. You spilled my food and live-streamed to slander me. Your other arm won't be spared either. In panic, the reporter finally confessed. Someone paid me to smear you. Only then did Gongjio release him. Help! The female star is attacking people. The reporter shouted while retreating, but Bo Ibai blocked his path at the door. Excuse me, Mr. Bo, please let me through. Seeing Bo Ibai's judging eyes, the reporter felt a chill down his spine. Impersonating a reporter, invasion of privacy, defamation. I've called the police. Wait for them to arrive. The guilty reporter's face turned red. Do you have evidence? Bo Ibai held his phone up to the reporter's face. I recorded everything in the room. Still trying to argue, the reporter shouted, I was forced to do it. Gongjio attacked first. My arm is broken. Little did he know, Gongjio was live-streaming him on phone, but in the footage, the reporter's arm moved freely. When releasing him, Gongjio had already healed his dislocated arm. The comment section was filled with criticism of his shamelessness. Knowing he was wrong, the reporter fled in shame. After this troublemaker left, Bo Ibai was filled with questions. The scream seemed genuine, yet his arm was fine, just like yesterday when glass shards pierced his chest. But waking up, the wound was completely healed. The strange events of these 2 days were beyond his understanding. How did they do it? The movie star's little hound finally got into trouble. For dangerous stunts, others used stunt doubles and wire work, but he climbed a 10-meter building barehanded. It instantly went viral across all major online platforms. Many haters became fans. Just 1 day before, after the incident in the hospital room, Bo Ibai and Gongjio's ambiguous behavior had topped the trending lists. During these 7 days, Bo Ibai felt powerless in everything he did. The TV at home reported that a female victim successfully fought back and escaped. 3 thugs were incapacitated. During this time, any news potentially related to Gongjio, he didn't miss a single one. Even the scripts his assistant found were carelessly handled. When he saw his little hound posting photos, he clicked immediately. Turns out he was having a feast, eating quite lavishly. After seeing it, he couldn't help but smile. Why does everything he eats look so delicious? This meal cost 763 yuan. The assistant observed secretly and was about to look closer when Bo Ibai's stomach growled. Would you like some foie gras steak? French cuisine? No, just get me some char siu bao. Then he transferred 763 yuan to his little hound. The next day at Hongdian Film Base. Given our years of friendship, please put in some good words for Gongjio to Director Chen. I'll help if I can, but look at Gongjio's scandals. They've seriously affected the new film's reception. If he can't pass today's screen test, I can't help unless the director takes notice. Lanjie quickly smiled and agreed. Yes, Gongjio's professional skills will surely pass. However, Gongjio surprisingly asked, does our crew provide meals? After all, for a foodie, eating was the top priority. The deputy director was shocked, unsure how to respond, suspecting he just came for free food. Lanjie quickly pulled him aside. My goodness, how can you only think about food at such a crucial time? Coming from an apocalyptic era of famine, he'd never tasted such delicious food. Of course, explaining his time traveler identity couldn't be revealed. I just have a fast metabolism. At this moment, Lanjie noticed Gongjio staring blankly ahead. She quietly reminded him to observe Director Chen's expression when entering. However, she didn't know Gongjio's eyes were fixed on the food cart. Arriving at the shooting location, Gongjio saw someone being pushed from upstairs, but realized it was filming when he rushed over. The woman was actually the popular actress known as the nation's sweetheart, Sang Tian. A man approached. Get up. The jumping action wasn't right. We need to reshoot. Sang Tian pitifully shook off the man's hand, glaring at him fiercely. As a popular starlet, how could she be bullied like this? But when she saw Gongjio, she surprisingly discovered, wasn't this the woman she acted with during her child star days? Gongjio praised her landing posture. I've been criticized for 2 days. You're the first to praise me. They clicked instantly. Then the director asked Gongjio to audition. According to the director, Gongjio would need to climb a 10-meter building. A man brought over a wire harness for Gongjio to wear. Unexpectedly, he directly refused. While everyone was mocking Gongjio for being scared before starting, he began doing warm-up exercises. This caught the attention of famous action star Chi Lei. Everyone was still mocking Gongjio for showing off, saying it would hurt when reality hit. Sang Tian defended Gongjio by scolding Chi Lei. Is it appropriate to criticize a girl like that? Unexpectedly, Chi Lei showed no restraint. But one deadly glance from Gongjio made Chi Lei's smile freeze. How could his eyes contain such murderous intent? He was scared but couldn't show it. So he pretended to be calm and shouted, if you're so capable, show us what you can do. Gongjio handed his clothes to Sang Tian for safekeeping, then quickly ran towards the wall, pushed off forcefully with his feet, then did a flip, and instantly jumped to the third-floor roof. Wow, that's so cool. Is this even humanly possible? Everyone was shocked speechless. Gongjio stood on the roof, with a cold, sharp gaze. Chi Lei, who had been waiting to laugh at him, was now frozen stiff, completely humiliated. Instantly, everyone in the crew became Gongjio's fans. Manager Lan Jia finally showed a long-absent smile. Now they'd surely get good roles. However, this scene was recorded by everyone's phones. Unexpectedly, something was about to happen. Gongjio instantly went viral online, even reaching #1 on Weibo. At this time, Bo Yibai also received photos from the crew. He finally understood why his little hound could eat so much. Hearing the crew's food wasn't good, remembered to get extra meals for Gongjio. His face full of doting and tenderness. He really can eat a lot. And after eating, he's incredibly strong. With one hand, he easily threw over his shoulder a muscular man who provoked him. Just after finishing the screen test, Gongjio said one lunchbox wasn't enough, he needed 10. But the set's meals were portioned per person, with no extras. Gongjio looked dejectedly at his single portion, remembering how in the apocalypse, food was obtained through fighting. But now it's a law-abiding society. Sang Tian noticed Gongjio's unhappiness, thinking it was due to Chi Lei's mockery. Gongjio, you were amazing just now. That was a 10-meter high third floor, and you went up so easily. Gongjio casually mentioned he learned parkour. A cart quickly drove towards Gongjio. Yes, I also thought your skills were impressive. Haha, hungry right? These are all luxury lunches I prepared for you. Duck tongue bento, spicy snow beef noodles, Korean fried chicken, and more. A whole cart of delicacies. Sang Tian saw through the man's intentions. Unsolicited kindness must hide ulterior motives. Zhang Rui's, you were just mocking Sister Ju with Chi Lei. Are you working with him? Zhang Rui's wanted to say he was introduced by second brother, but was interrupted by Sang-Jiu. "Can't you see Sister Jiu is busy? Talk to me first. I just wanted to ask if the expert would be interested in joining our club's rock climbing activities." Seeing Sang Tian keep finding fault, Jiang Rui's accidentally let slip, "I was asked to bring extra food for his benefactor." Gongju instantly understood. "Excuse me for a moment. Haha, meal tickets are always reliable." Quickly took a photo and sent it to Bowie Bai for confirmation. After getting his approval, Gongju sat down happily. Now he could enjoy his meal with joy. "Look at that Jiang Rui's. He's quite sneaky." Seeing Sister Jiu eating the food he brought, he still tried to persuade her to join the club. Unexpectedly, Gongjiu had already seen through his scheme of using food as bait. She asked Sang Tian to take him away. After eating, Sister Jiu went to the training room, stretched lazily, saying this body only has strength after eating. Suddenly heard a discordant voice, "Brother Lei, take it easy." A group of followers were flattering Chi Lei. Quite a lot of minions. You seem to have some skills. Dare to spar with me?" Everyone knew he was vindictive and domineering, often bullying other actors under the guise of filming. "This drama has many action scenes. You better be prepared to take some hits." Sister Jiu wanted to refuse, but seeing his arrogant face annoyed her, so she decided to play along with Chi Lei. "Heh, those useless muscles of yours are like pork on a chopping board to me. Fresh meat for a novice." Everyone laughed at Sister Jia's words. It was Chi Lei's first time being mocked like this by a woman. Feeling humiliated after being ridiculed, he raised his fist and charged at Sister Jiu. "I'll teach you a lesson with my fists today." Sister Jiu didn't take this waste seriously at all. With just a light deflection of her left hand, Chi Lei's punch force was instantly reduced by half, like hitting cotton. Before he could react, he was suddenly thrown to the ground by a powerful force. The whole building could hear Chi Lei's pig-like screams. Chi Lei on the ground was howling from Sister Jia's beating. At this time, Sang Tian was live streaming. Less than 10 minutes into the stream, there were 200,000 viewers. "Darlings, I'll take you to our training room for a tour now." Jiang Rui's was surprised by her popularity. As expected of the nation's sweetheart, her popularity is incredible. The show's traffic depends on her. Livestream fans were praising Sang Tian's sweetness and cuteness. Suddenly, screams of pain were heard, seemingly coming from the training room. The livestream chat was flooded with questions. "What happened? What's that terrible screaming? Seems like people inside were rehearsing intensely." Sang Tian entered the training room while streaming. The camera was pointing at Gongjiu, and the chat exploded again. "Wow, this sister is so cool. What a great figure. Turn around and let us see." They saw Chi Lei being beaten down to his knees by Gongjiu. "Aish, come on. I can't lose to a woman like this, no way." Chi Lei stubbornly charged at Sister Jiu again. As expected, Chi Lei was once again picked up and slammed to the ground by Sister Jia. Like an immortal cockroach, Chi Lei kept getting KO'd but continued charging forward. "Why are you hitting me? Why are you hitting me?" About 10 minutes later, everyone in the room was dumbfounded. Sang Tian finally remembered she was still streaming. She quickly turned off the live stream. After all, for a martial arts star to be beaten like this by a female artist today, his acting career was thoroughly finished. Knowing he couldn't win, Chi Lei could only rage helplessly. "You beat me up like this today. I want to see my lawyer." But Gongjiu took out her phone showing their previous conversation recording. Everything was recorded. A man who's a martial arts star and also a bully. This time he tried to bully an 18th tier actress, wanting her to spar with him. Unexpectedly, he hit a steel plate this time and still wouldn't reflect on his actions, still shouting in front of Gongjiu. But the next second, beat him. 10 minutes later, with a bruised face, he finally surrendered. After fighting for so long, he was the only one getting beaten. He couldn't even touch Gongjiu once. "No more fighting. My nose is bleeding. I want to see my lawyer." Then Gongjiu took out her phone. "I recorded everything you just said." She shoved it right in Chi Lei's face. Chi Lei instantly became submissive. At this moment, the director pushed open the door. Chi Lei immediately regained his previous arrogance. "Is this how your crew treats the male lead? I can't film another second of this. It's either her or me in this crew." He turned to leave as he said this. The director immediately exploded in anger. "Gongjiu, look what you've done. Apologize to Chi Lei now, or get out." Gongjiu looked incredulous. Chi Lei was clearly at fault first. Why should she apologize? Sister Lan was completely panicked this time. Offending director Chun meant Gongjiu's career was over. Meanwhile, Sang Tian was explaining the situation to director Chen. Gongju picked up the previous recording, added a note, and clicked save. Haha, don't worry Sister Lan, we might make a fortune soon. The next day, Sang Tian was still worried about Gongju's situation in the dance studio. Chi Lei is so devious. For such minor injuries, he called an ambulance and got hospitalized. Zhang Rui's behind her was busy running around. Hey, big internet celebrity Tian Tian, you should worry about your own scenes. I sacrificed my rest day to practice with you. Seeing Zhang Rui's sweating from helping with her matters, Sang Tian realized her mistake. She quickly bowed and apologized. I'm sorry for troubling you today. The sudden bow left Zhang Rui's confused. Haha, overtime is nothing. Just practice well. By the way, Director Chen wasn't satisfied with the falling scene last time. We need to reshoot. Today, we'll just practice Director Yang's movements. Remembering the 10-meter-high rooftop, Sang Tian's legs started trembling. Fortunately, with Zhang Rui's patient guidance, Sang Tian finally overcame the challenge. Meanwhile on Weibo, the incident of the mysterious female stunt double beating up Chi Lei kept escalating. It quickly reached #1 on trending topics. Bowie Bai looked at the trending topic on Weibo, secretly feeling. In the comments section, people soon discovered the female stunt double was Gongju. However, most comments about Gongju were negative. Sure enough, someone was guiding the incident to develop unfavorably for Little Hunting Dog. However, Chi Lei's studio immediately released a statement. Chi Lei suspends performances. Injuries from assailant difficult to heal. This was Bowie Bai's assistant, bringing him lunchboxes from the crew. Bowie Bai quickly asked his assistant if he had previously given him the assailant script. Yes, but the box office risk was high. It was rejected from the start. Bowie Bai nodded. It's risky, but worth trying. Oh right, boss. About the cameo you promised Zhang Dao Xin a few days ago. We can arrange filming these days. Are you free? Keep it open. I have new plans. Alright, I'll coordinate with Zhang Dao first. The cold celebrity transformed into a caring, warm man. Just because his little hunting dog was falsely accused, he immediately canceled all shooting tasks and came to Gongju's crew. From Zhang Rui's, he learned that his little hunting dog was doing quite well. She even gained many fangirls. Bowie Bai finally felt relieved. Gongju is very popular in the crew now. The crew had long suffered. She just helped eliminate a menace. Bowie Bai checked the time. It should be lunchtime now. Sure enough, when lunchtime came, Foodie Gongju was never late. Bowie Bai looked out the window, seeming to anticipate something. Outside, Gongju suddenly appeared. I want 9 lunchboxes. The delivery uncle was surprised by the young girl's appetite. Sister Lan behind her called out, Gongju, slow down. I can't keep up. While Gongju's eyes sparkled, the crew's food is so good, different every day. Bowie Bai turned to look at the lunchbox in front of him. He couldn't help but swallow. Still opened the lunchbox expectantly. Little Jiang looked surprised. An anorexic patient was eating ordinary lunchboxes. Bowie Bai picked up some rice and looked out the window. Seeing Gongju eating heartily, his appetite suddenly increased. Taking a bite of rice, he mumbled, I'm watching mukbang while eating. At this moment, Little Jiang suddenly discovered Chi Lei was doing a live stream, obviously trying to draw hate towards Gongju. Unexpectedly, Bowie Bai wasn't worried. Little Jiang questioned, he's your benefactor. How can you be so indifferent? If she wasn't prepared for crisis, she wouldn't be Gongju. Sure enough, well-fed Gongju was happily taking selfies. The next second, Bowie Bai received Gongju's daily food check-in photos. Meanwhile, Chi Lei received a call from his subordinate. The practice room surveillance footage had been cleared. Good. Now we just need to destroy Gongju's recording. Then I can say whatever I want with just my word. It was time to call Gongju's manager. Hey Sister Lan, can we talk? How evil was this man covered in bandages? Because he often bullied people, he didn't expect this time's target would be tough. He finally got his karma. However, Chi Lei wouldn't give up. To get the recording from Gongju, he actually targeted her manager, Sister Lan. Don't be nervous, Sister Lan. I heard you've been managing Gongju for several years. It must be tiring working with such a burden. What exactly do you want to say? Upon learning it was Chi Lei's call, Sister Lan immediately turned on her phone. Voiceover, haha. Now all of Chi Lei's evil intentions were heard clearly by Gongju. That night, back at her place, Gongju grabbed her laptop and started typing away. Sister Lan suddenly opened the door. I just met with Chi Lei. According to our plan, I gave him all the audio files. This is the money he transferred. Gongju took a closer look. Wow, Just one trip and they got 5 million. The two celebrated joyfully. This amount is nothing to Chile. Consider it robbing the rich to help the poor. Tonight, I'm treating you to supper. Order whatever you want. Don't save money for me. Then I won't be polite. Gongjio went on a crazy ordering spree, ordering 9 portions of river snail rice noodles at once, tapping away on the phone screen, hurting Sister Lan's heart. Finally, Gongjio stood up and stretched. It's time to teach Chile a good lesson. He thinks taking away all my evidence means he can do whatever he wants. Unfortunately, he missed one thing. Coming from the apocalyptic world, there's no data I can't recover. It turned out she had already recovered all the surveillance footage. Sister Lan was surprised. When did you become a hacker? Little did she know, for someone from the apocalyptic world, recovering surveillance data was really beneath her abilities. Gongjio flipped her bangs. Just basic skills for a qualified actor. Meanwhile, in the elevator of Hongdian Grand Hotel, Bowie Bai was frantically scrolling through his phone. All the negative news about Gongjio that had just been exposed. Various inappropriate photoshopped pictures, all targeting Gongjio. His eyes turned cold. He quickly reported the posts, then took out his phone again, started liking posts about Gongjio beating up Chile. When he looked up, who should enter the elevator but Gongjio? She was wearing pink bunny ear pajamas. Oh, so cute. Hey, Teacher Bo, why are you here? An embarrassed Bai quickly turned away. Just here for a friendly cameo role these days. Then secretly glanced at what she was carrying. Looks heavy. Need help? Gongjio lifted it easily. See? Not heavy at all. She showed Bai the receipt for 9 portions of river snail noodles. Total 197 yuan. Behind them, Jiang Rui's looked confused. I heard Director Chan wants to fire her. Is she planning to become a mukbang streamer? Leaving the elevator, Bai pretended to look at his phone to hide his nervousness, then immediately transferred money to Gongjio. Gongjio was excited. This meal ticket really has good judgment. 24K pure gold good person. When I make money later, I'll treat him to Lao Gan Dai river snail noodles from Shaochong Reviews. This action star who was just beaten to hospitalization by a girl was in a very bad mood. Just then, he received a call from a mysterious woman. Chile, who had been frustrated by Gongjio, suddenly regained confidence. It turned out this mysterious woman was the mastermind behind Gongjio's kidnapping at the abandoned factory. It seems Chile was her best puppet to deal with Gongjio now. The two quickly came to an agreement, thinking the same way, just waiting for Gongjio to take the bait. Just moments ago, a casual like from the popular star Bai had put great pressure on Chile. As a result, Bai's assistant thought his account had been hacked. Boss, someone used your account to like videos of Gongjio beating people. The video is great, punishing evil and promoting good, not caring about image. Boss, you're speechless. Gongjio attracts haters. Bai calmly drank water, while his assistant kept rambling. Then came a loud bang. Am I paying you to do charity work? Or should I keep defending him on Weibo myself? The assistant realized his mistake. I understand. I'll handle it right away. Please don't be angry, boss. Afterward, the assistant gave himself a face massage. That's what you get for talking too much. Sure enough, opening his phone, he found trolls already attacking Gongjio, saying she had powerful connections. After being beaten by her last time, he was inexplicably put in solitary confinement, stayed there for free for days, and was threatened to keep quiet. Simply a vicious criminal force. However, facing online violence, Gongjio's first thought was to eat first. Indeed, food comes first for a foodie. Facing a screen full of people tagging her to watch the live stream, Gongjio smiled faintly, then opened her own live stream room, warmly greeting everyone. Hi everyone, I know you're anxious, but don't rush. Everything can wait until after I finish eating. Then she started streaming, slurping down 9 bowls of river snail noodles in one go. Afterward, she elegantly wiped her mouth. The trolls in the stream were stunned. The screen was full of disbelief, and some even felt hungry watching. After eating her fill, Gongjio immediately pressed the voice chat button, then warmly greeted the yellow-haired guy who had slandered her at the hospital. Yellowhair was surprised she dared to voice chat with him. Gongjio got straight to the point. Didn't I break your right hand? Why is the cast on your left hand? Yellowhair awkwardly replied, don't twist things around. You heard wrong. Seeing him deny it, Gongjio took out a phone. This phone should look familiar to you. Yellowhair immediately accused her of stealing his phone, but Gongjio calmly unlocked the phone. Yellowhair was shocked. How did you crack my phone password? Li Hu, if I were you, I wouldn't carelessly throw around things with so much dirt. Gong Ju pointed the phone's contents at the livestream camera. All of Yellow Hair's evidence of wrongdoing was exposed to the stream viewers. The stream viewers once again saw Yellow Hair's true face. So he was a professional troll all along? Now Yellow Hair was completely speechless. Gong Ju spoke to the screen again. Chile, I know you're watching the stream. I've prepared a surprise for you too. Ready to receive it? Just then, Chile off camera received a text message. It was surveillance footage of him provoking Gong Ju, and videos of him bribing Gong Ju's agent to intercept. They both realized they weren't exposing others, but being exposed themselves. One moment they were plotting to smear others. The next moment they were slapped with hard evidence. Li Hu, that liability, quickly turned to ask Chile what to do. Chile was speechless. He called out his name during the live stream, as if afraid people wouldn't know they were working together. At this time, Chile also received Gong Ju's surprise video. Every scene that happened back then was revealed by Gong Ju without missing any, including Chile making the first move to provoke Gong Ju, and scenes of Chile bribing Gong Ju's agent. The evidence was irrefutable. The livestream chat was buzzing again. Chile, who still had hope, now completely panicked. The plan he thought was perfect now showed signs of being countered at every turn. Yellow Hair, still streaming, also panicked but tried to quibble, claiming Gong Ju's videos were edited. He even claimed Gong Ju's backing was actor Bo Ebai. Gong Ju instantly became unhappy. How did her meal ticket get involved? She couldn't let him get into trouble. Teacher Bo is kind. He just couldn't stand evil forces like you. He just liked my post, and you slander him like this. What would his fans think? Sure enough, Bo's fangirls in the stream instantly launched a collective attack. Yellow Hair truly experienced the powerful unity of Bo's devoted fans. Indeed, not everyone can be carelessly slandered. Yellow Hair quickly shut down his stream. It wasn't worth risking his life for Chile and that woman, Gong Ju, still streaming, to avoid causing unnecessary trouble for her meal ticket, emphasized that she wasn't close to Teacher Bo, saying anyone with different opinions could come at her, but leave uninvolved people alone. Meanwhile, Bo Ebai was staring at his phone, wanting to type out what everyone wanted to express. What does she mean by not close? What uninvolved people? Bo Ebai called his driver and headed to where Gong Ju was eating. He had to get this clear. Meanwhile, Gong Ju was leisurely answering questions in the stream. Today's face-slapping task is complete. Just chatting with you all casually now, watching various rumors being cleared up, like the female star openly seeking children. Gong Ju just watched the drama, completely unbothered. Suddenly the chat spammed, "Look, who's behind Gong Ju?" Gong Ju turned around puzzled, only to see Bo Ebai standing straight behind her. The stream instantly exploded with comments about his good figure and long legs. But the next second, the platform shut down the stream for adult content. Gong Ju wondered if it was because she mentioned seeking children. But it must be because of Bo, the movie star Bo. After all, he was called the walking hormone. His sexy figure couldn't be hidden even through the screen. Bo Ebai coldly looked at her. Gong Ju realized things were bad. She probably caused him trouble earlier, and now he's here about it. She quickly grabbed her phone and tried to slip away. "I'm full. Teacher Bo, please enjoy your meal." Bo Ebai watched Gong Ju flee with confusion. What's wrong with his little hunting dog today? Running away at the sight of him. Then Bo Ebai's assistant discovered something major. Bo Ebai was trending again. Top actor devastated after being unfriended. However, the next day he was filming with the hunting dog who blocked him. The ultimate showdown between a gang boss and an underdog. Their acting chemistry was spine-tingling. Their brilliant performance instantly ignited the scene. Just minutes ago, Gong Ju's livestream exposed the ugly face of antis, causing an uproar. Popular actress Sang Tion applauded upon hearing the news, exclaiming finally someone could handle that scoundrel. But foodie Gong Ju only cared about eating. She didn't even know who the new male lead was. Sang Tion was bewildered. She didn't even know the director. The next second, the mysterious male lead appeared. It was the nation's heartthrob Bo Ebai. The actor's aura drove everyone crazy. Sang Tion playfully winked at Gong Ju, signaling the new male lead had arrived. Gong Ju was surprised. What's going on? The new male lead is my former meal ticket. Better pretend not to know him then. Sang Tion greeted warmly while the woman only responded coldly. Bo Ebai was unhappy. This woman, first unfriending then pretending not to know him? He stayed up all night reading the script, only to be unfriended and treated like a stranger. Later Bo Yi-bai only greeted Sang Tian before turning to leave. The two were like a quarreling couple, leaving Sang Tian confused. Gongju just explained she wasn't close to him, secretly pleased with her strategy of keeping distance. Him keeping his distance now was the best choice. Sang Tian clearly didn't believe it, since Bo had liked the video of beating up Chile. How could their relationship be just casual? Gongju looked confused. What like? Sang Tian grabbed her hand in shock. Haven't you been online these days? How could you not know about such big news? Eating is better than surfing the web, she said while slurping. Sang Tian's expression froze. Sister Nine was fierce but a few words. Minutes later, the director called all departments to prepare for filming. The director asked the man puzzledly, why keep this star surrounded by negative news? Bo Yi-bai showed a faint smile, his expression softening. Haven't you seen their skills? They're the perfect choice for this role. He firmly believed that once filming began, Gongju would become the focus of this show. With the director's explanation, filming officially began. The Felon tells the story of protagonist Lin Imo, whose parents died, and whose only sister Lin Yu unfortunately developed eye cancer. Soon after, she discovered she also had a terminal illness. To save her sister's life, she was forced into a high-stakes gamble. Win and become a billionaire, lose and both sisters would die. But she became fatefully entangled with the villain K. Thus began the Felon's story. The first scene was between Gongju and Bo Yi-bai. This was also K and Lin Mo's first meeting. When Lin Mo opened his eyes, he was already at the gambling scene. He was bound to a chair with a basin of water in front. Across from him sat 4 others in the same situation. Only the winner would survive this gambling match. In the shot, Bo Yi-bai slowly opened his eyes, empty and numb, like a lifeless shell. Sang Tian, sitting by the monitor, gasped. Those eyes were like a soul returning to a corpse. The crew behind also marveled. Getting into character instantly was spine-chilling. Then a pair of pale hands appeared from behind Bo Yi-bai, slowly caressing along his arms, fingers trailing his face, like teasing and touching. The intimate action made everyone exclaim it was too much, beyond expectations. The previous gentleness suddenly turned frost-like and sharp. The woman grabbed the man's throat, fingers tightening as if to strangle him. The fierce aura made everyone's hearts tremble. Then Gongju's character K lowered her head, looking down at his exquisite face. But when she met Bo Yi-bai's deep gaze, the woman felt immense pressure, making it hard to breathe. She felt something familiar in him, almost mistaking him for holding the face of someone deceased. A 10-second stare, dead silence filled the set, as if the air had frozen. Many thought Gongju's long silence meant a reshoot was needed, which seemed likely. Another viewer captivated by Bo's magical acting skills. Surprisingly, the director didn't cut, having noticed something subtle. He shouted to zoom in on Gongju's face, capturing her twisted features. The scene between the skilled actor and promising actress was brilliant. The woman's performance was explosive, matching Bo Yi-bai's level. As the director zoomed in, Gongju was smiling, yet smiling, but her eyes held no trace of joy. Her merciless gaze seemed to devour souls as her finger traced the man's throat. Her face showed the expression of a bloodthirsty beast licking its lips. It was stunning. Sang Tian trembled in disbelief. Others looked amazed. She caught Bo Yi-bai's emotional delivery perfectly, even amplifying it. At that moment, they weren't actors performing but Lin Mo and K themselves. The woman's voice rang out, cold and harsh. Their stakes were set. How long do you think you can last before dying? Bo Yi-bai replied calmly. 10 minutes. It's a bold bet. I look forward to your death. Gongju showed a determined cold smile. She grabbed Bo Yi-bai's hair and roughly forced his head into the water basin. Time passed second by second. Many people couldn't help but lift their heads to breathe. The lead actor Bo Yi-bai's head was still pressed in the water basin. Gongju showed no intention of letting go. Others became restless. Shouldn't director Chun call cut? It's been almost 3 minutes. However, the director was excited. Though just a rehearsal, this first shot was brilliant. He even forgot to call cut. When he realized it, cold sweat had formed on his back. Before he could react, Gongju had pulled Bo Yi-bai's head from the water, forcing a smile saying, "Sorry for the offense, Teacher Bo." The assistant quickly handed over a towel. Bo Yi-bai wiped the water from his face, saying it's fine, as if nothing happened. The director angrily scolded Gongjio. How could you be so rough? What if Ibai had choked? Gongjio shook her head saying, don't worry. Bo Ibai told me he could hold his breath for 3 minutes. Everyone looked confused. When did they discuss this? Before filming, Gongjio had touched the water basin and said 2. Bo replied 3. That's what it meant. The assistant misunderstood, thinking they meant it would take 3 takes. Gongjio looked innocent, saying, isn't it obvious? Everyone marveled. Only these two could understand each other's thinking. Then Sang Tian flattered Gongjio, saying, when you were acting with Teacher Bo, I got goosebumps. But they saw the two complimenting each other instead. Without your eyes, I couldn't have gotten into character so quickly. Your emotions were perfect. Seeing their chemistry, Sang Tian instantly became their shipper. Then the two started rehearsing directly. Gongjio's movements were deliberately keeping some distance. Seeing this, Bo Ibai asked Gongjio why she caressed Linimo. She instinctively answered, because Linimo is like an interesting toy. Your caress should be more entranced, making me unable to resist, he said, pressing her hand down. Gongjio's hand slowly slid down, palm against the man's skin. She could feel the temperature beneath and even his pulse beating. He softly told her to remember this emotion. They rehearsed, oblivious to others. Sang Tian blushed, biting her lips saying, I can't take it. This rehearsal is even more intense than their actual filming. Though these characters are mortal enemies, I can't help but ship them. The assistant mocked her for shipping everything, warning her not to mess up her own performance. Sang Tian pushed him away, saying, I have 15 years of acting experience. Just watch and see. Right after boasting, the director called Sang Tian to film. However, Bo Ibai's presence made Sang Tian nervous and awkward, distracted, unable to focus on emotions. She even started forgetting lines. Her movements were stiff, lacking spirit. Finally, 15 years of acting experience resulted in 15 painful retakes. She hugged Gongjio, feeling utterly defeated. Gongjio took out her beloved bubble tea, saying, you were too nervous. Just have some bubble tea like me. Indeed, in a foodie's eyes, food solves everything. Then she asked Gongjio why she had such chemistry with Bo Ibai, wondering if they really weren't familiar. Gongjio casually replied, maybe because we're not familiar, it's easier to play enemies without pressure. Unknown to her, Bo Ibai had stopped behind them, silently listening to their conversation. He sternly rebuked Gongjio. Are Linimo and Kei really enemies? I don't think so. Then he left angrily. Gongjio vaguely sensed a murderous aura. Is he angry because I held him underwater for 3 minutes? Sang Tian was speechless. Then she sent him a text message, saying that was all she could do to help. Then she found Bo Ibai had liked her post. Everyone could see their relationship was special, yet Gongjio kept saying they didn't know each other at all. Though they only had a financial relationship, she felt terrible about what she'd done. She vowed to apologize properly, then remembered she had already deported. Teacher Bo? Bo Ibai smiled and asked, are we familiar now? Yes, as familiar as cooked lobster. Then accept my friend request. Adding right away. A minute later, Gongjio's phone received a 10 million transfer. This is for your meals from the past few days. Thank you, Ibai. The food tastes even better now. Bo Ibai wondered why she always had such a good appetite. Gongjio sensed something unusual. Remembering the famine years and her hungry days, she told Bo Ibai about her poor childhood without food. That's why she now cherishes having enough to eat. Bo Ibai hadn't expected Gongjio to have such a past. He secretly decided he would never let her suffer again. Gongjio picked up a piece of his favorite sweet and sour ribs for Bo Ibai. Why aren't you eating, Teacher Bo? This tastes absolutely amazing. Bo Ibai hesitated. These foods high in sugar, oil, and salt were a nightmare for someone with anorexia. But she looked so expectant. How could he disappoint her? Though he found it greasy and the meat dry, Bo Ibai nodded and said it was okay. Then try this. The Yuxiang shredded pork is my favorite. Gongjio instantly became the crew's boxed lunch promoter. But Bo Ibai found it too sweet after eating. How is it? Gongjio's face was still full of anticipation. It goes well with rice though. I knew you'd like it. Just eat freely. Men need to eat well. However, half an hour later, Bo Ibai surprisingly finished the whole meal. It wasn't as bad as he imagined. He looked up, wondering if it was because of who he was eating with. As soon as they finished, Gongjio grabbed his tray. I'll handle this. I'm already sworn sisters with the cafeteria lady. I'll take care of your meals from now on. Must we eat dinner together every day? Bo Ibai felt a little hopeful about this, but he stayed silent, finding it somewhat charming. Seeing no response, Gongju said, "If it's inconvenient for Teacher Bo, it's fine. I was just saying, why the sudden change? Was she afraid of causing trouble? I don't want people calling me a troublemaker. I shouldn't cause you any more trouble. I'll go now." Bo Ibai watched her leave, feeling mixed emotions. "I never thought you were trouble. I'm not afraid of getting involved." To perfect their scenes together, he immediately studied the script at home. But his assistant rushed in frantically. "Boss, what were you doing with Gongju? Something secretive? Just eating boxed meals? Don't you hate eating with others and greasy food? Boss, were you possessed after the accident? Since you know me so well, you should know I hate talkative people more." That familiar retort was definitely him. "By the way, find out Gongju's hotel room number." The assistant agreed instinctively, then realized a second later. "Why do you need that?" Bo Ibai ignored the question. "You wanted Gongju to join your extreme sports club before. Still interested?" "Of course, but Gongju already refused." Bo Ibai looked mysterious. "Come deliver packages with me tonight. I'll give you a chance." Meanwhile, Gongju was live streaming herself eating barbecue when she heard knocking. She got up to open the door. "Who is it? I didn't order takeout." Opening the door, she found superstar Bo Ibai. Gongju quickly tried to close the door. Bo Ibai blocked it just in time. "It's me. I know you closed it because it was me." Bo Ibai had a questioning look on his face. Until Gongju pointed at her phone screen, he realized she was live streaming. Netizens were exploding in comments, witnessing history. The top star is falling. But when another man appeared to say hello, the misunderstanding stopped. Gongju wondered if they were all suffering from insomnia and came to chat. Zhang Rui quickly answered, "We're here to give you a banner." He pulled out a banner from behind and unfurled it dramatically. "Self-sacrificing hero, bravely fighting criminals." The golden words shone brightly on the banner. Gongju was speechless. "Are you serious? A top actor, to save an 18th-tier actress's reputation, sneaking into a woman's home at night to present a banner, and with a police station seal no less." Gongju awkwardly accepted the banner while still live streaming. "What are you guys up to?" Bo Ibai solemnly told her there's prize money too, and the police would contact her. But his assistant just wanted a photo together. The scene was so beautiful, viewers started shipping them. Though it wasn't clear which pair they were shipping, viewers were curious about what Gongju had done. The assistant got excited hearing this. He immediately turned into a talk show host, describing Bo's accident that day. Teacher Gong descended from heaven to save old Bo. Old Bo sat up from his deathbed, grateful and tearful. Bo Ibai, who hated chatty people, immediately told him to shut up, then kicked him out the door. Gongju laughed. "Teacher Bo is too polite. Being touched is fine, but crying isn't necessary." The bullet comments were all asking for clips of the tough guy crying. Bo Ibai asked what the fans were saying. Then he casually moved closer to Gongju. Their eyes met, almost kissing. But the next second, the live stream was shut down again. "Why do I get put in time out every time you appear? Come on, is being too handsome a crime? It's clearly because your assistant outside won't stop talking. I only exaggerated a tiny bit." "Old Bo, you're so petty. Is he always this talkative? If you don't like it, I won't bring him next time." Gongju opened the door to bid them farewell, but Bo Ibai didn't want to leave. "Anything else? How about some late-night snacks?" Gongju quickly closed the door. "Let's get out of here." The assistant looked skeptical. "Old Bo, are you still the food lover I know?" Meanwhile, at Hua Corporation, the young miss of the painting studio was furiously scolding her subordinates. Because despite buying so many water armies, Gongju still managed to clear her name. The man suggested buying more water armies, but she said that would only make their scheme more obvious now. She then took out her phone with a cold smile. On the screen was Gongju's mother's phone number. Meanwhile, Gongju and the other two were looking for food. The assistant elbowed Bo. "Hey, weren't you the one who never ate late-night snacks? You suddenly changed. What are you plotting? Take your hands off, don't run. Want to practice fighting? Come on, bring it." At that moment, Gongju saw Sang Tian, who had just finished working out. When Sang Tian turned around, she saw the two men hugging each other. With a thud, Sang Tian's bubble teacup dropped from shock. "Zhang Rui's, how dare you break up my ship?" The assistant quickly explained they were just pure brothers. But Sang Tian didn't believe it. He's just a shameless guy who sneaked onto the set. How could he be brothers with the cold Bo god? Gongju saw Bo Ibai was on the phone, so she had to explain for him that they were really friends. Without his permission, who would dare enter his set? Sang Tian finally believed it. Sorry for misunderstanding you as a thug. I'm not petty. If you're really sorry, let's have a meal together. But I just finished working out. Jiang Rui's deliberately put on a hurt expression. You just called me a thug? I feel so bad. Let me treat you, okay? Then the four went to a hot pot restaurant. It was a place Sang Tian frequently visited. They ordered a split pot. Gongju looked confused. Since coming here, she hadn't seen such a special way of eating. No way, someone hasn't had hot pot in this era? Bo Yibai glared at his assistant, then explained to Gongju how to eat hot pot. Sang Tian added a freshly cooked meat patty. Sister Ju ate it with great joy. One moment she was marveling at such delicious food. The next moment she was coughing non-stop from the spiciness. Because it was too spicy, both of them stood up simultaneously to get her yogurt, and kindly brought sauce to reduce the spiciness. This scene reminded Jiang Rui's of a TV series, of Tian Fei, and by Fei, serving the ninth prince. Then the waiter brought cold fish mint. Gongju said it was sweet. The assistant was stunned, remembering his sister said the same thing. Then he excitedly told Gongju to try the tripe. When Gongju ate it, it felt like flames dancing on her tongue. But this didn't affect her love for hot pot at all. Jiang Rui teased that she couldn't handle spice but loved eating it. Sang Tian immediately defended Sister Jiu. Can you handle spice any better? I'm not targeting anyone, but none of you can eat spicier than me. Even if you're a Chuanyu girl, you can't. Fine, let's see who can handle more spice. Later they ordered 20 extremely spicy chicken wings at once. The competition officially began, neither willing to back down. They devoured the chicken wings one after another. This made Gongju think the wings weren't spicy. Let me try and see how spicy they are. Bo Yibai immediately stopped her. No, you can't. Don't believe me? Look at him first. This was a battle between foodies, a popular actress and a rich heir competing to prove who could handle spicier food. They ordered 10 large plates of extremely spicy chicken wings. Instantly, the man's smile froze, his brows furrowed, and sweat appeared on his forehead. Then, the first wing made him struggle to breathe. His throat felt like it was burning with unbearable fire. The next second, he collapsed. Meanwhile, Sang Tian ate happily without any reaction. Gongju watched her calm demeanor, itching to secretly try a bite, but Bo Yibai stopped her impulse just in time. Look at his condition. Do you still want to eat? Soon, Jiang Rui's was knocked out by the spiciness. In this Spice King competition, Sang Tian undoubtedly won. The assistant admitted defeat. Indeed, Chuanyu girls are not to be messed with. When Bo Yibai called for the bill, Sang Tian looked confused. Wasn't I supposed to treat? The assistant struggled through pain to get up. With me and buy here. We won't let you pay. The waiter brought out couples' discount coupons for their next visit. Both blushed and quickly explained they weren't a couple. The waiter apologized immediately. Unexpectedly, Gongju took the coupon. Save money when we can. Teacher Bo won't mind this, right? Bo Yibai seemed happy. I don't mind. Just like a newlywed bride. As the four left, Sang Tian noticed Jiang Rui's clutching his stomach. He seemed to be in unbearable pain. She then took Jiang Rui's directly, saying she'd take him to the hospital. Jiang Rui's insisted he was fine. Sang Tian didn't listen and pushed him into the car. Now with just the two of them left, Bo Yibai was secretly relieved. Finally, those two troublemakers are gone. Even the heavens cooperated by starting to rain. Bo Yibai thoughtfully put a hat on Gongju. Go back to the shop. I'll get an umbrella. But Bo Yibai bought not just one umbrella, he also bought her favorite Vita soy. Gongju immediately drank one bottle, then noticed Bo Yibai's other half was dripping wet. She pushed the umbrella to him. You'll catch a cold like this. Bo Yibai looked serious. Do I look that fragile to you? But quickly realized this was a chance. Let's stay closer then. They walked side by side slowly, like a couple in love. Meanwhile at the hospital, Sang Tian held Jiang Rui's medical report and scolded. Why didn't you say you had stomach problems? It's just a minor issue. Jiang Rui's tried to get up, but was pushed back down by Sang Tian. Are you stupid? Risking your health for face? You're so tall, but can't even take care of yourself? Besides my brother, no one has ever scolded me like this. Sang Tian frowned. Give me your brother's number. I'll call him right now. Sang Tian's domineering attitude made Jiang Rui's instantly submit. No, I'll listen to you, okay? I don't have any scenes tomorrow. I'll take full responsibility for you. She then stood guard outside the ward, waiting drowsily for the 4 to finish. Sure enough, she fell asleep before the 4 was done. Zhang Rui's, lying in bed, looked at the dozing Sang Tian and thought, "You can't even take care of yourself, yet you lecture me." He then covered her with a blanket. The sleeping Sang Tian was caught by Zhang Rui's as she leaned forward. She unconsciously nuzzled forward. "Good boy, Wang Kai." Zhang Rui's felt embarrassed. What was she saying? Just as he leaned closer to hear clearly, Sang Tian suddenly opened her eyes. Their eyes met. She had been dreaming about playing with her pet dog, hugging her beloved Wang Kai at home, asking, "Did you miss me?" Suddenly her beloved Wang Kai turned into a person, and Zhang Rui's was staring at her. Sang Tian's face turned red instantly. She immediately pushed Zhang Rui's away, shouting, "Pervert!" Caught off guard, Zhang Rui's hit his head on the bed rail, his head buzzing. "Who's a pervert? You fell asleep, and I was kind enough to cover you with a blanket." Sang Tian looked down and indeed found a blanket on her knees. Extremely embarrassed, "Help, it's too hot." "Haha, first it was just stomach pain, now my head and face hurt too." Sang Tian covered her face embarrassedly. I'm sorry. Sang Tian rushed towards the door. "I'll call a nurse to change your 4. Popular actor spotted walking in rain with rumored actress, writing romantic love story. Seeing Gong Jiu drinking so happily, the man couldn't help asking if it was good. Unexpectedly, Gong Jiu became alert like a guarding animal, asking, "What do you want?" The man just smiled. "I won't fight you for it." After thinking for a while, Gong Jiu decided to share her drink. She handed it to him. "This one's for you. Take it." The man asked surprisingly why she suddenly became so generous. Gong Jiu replied matter-of-factly, "It's your money anyway. No need to thank me." The man just asked, "Is it that good?" "You've had 2 bottles." Gong Jiu urged him to try it, but he said it was too sweet. He didn't drink it even after getting home. Then, Bo Bai took photos of the milk drink. He posted them online with the caption, "Delicious. More tomorrow." The comments section exploded. Everyone guessed he was asking Gong Jiu for more milk drinks. Bo Bai even liked that comment. Bo Bai smiled and nodded in confirmation. The next day, his assistant received news that Bo Bai was trending again. They even got a call from the milk drink company, wanting Bo Bai to be their spokesperson. Early in the morning, he received news about Sang Tian accompanying Zhang Rui's at the hospital. Thinking Zhang Rui's might have food problems, he felt his own abilities had recovered quite a bit thanks to having a regular food source lately. At this moment, the original owner's mother called. This woman who didn't even care when her daughter was kidnapped. Now she suddenly remembers she has a daughter. And the first thing she did when calling was to scold Gong Jiu harshly. Her purpose this time was to clear Chi Lei's name. She demanded Gong Jiu apologize immediately, or else there would be consequences. But Gong Jiu wasn't the original owner anymore. That abandoned daughter had long been lost in the river of history. "If you want me to let Chi Lei off, tell him to kneel and beg me himself. Then maybe I'll consider it." Then she hung up on the woman. She couldn't believe that her once obedient daughter would now defy her. Behind the scenes, the young miss had refused, and Li Yu, the stepmother, was extremely respectful to her daughter. It turned out this old woman had been having an affair with Chi Lei. Facing her kneeling stepmother, the young miss decided to give her one last chance. "If you can't destroy your daughter, you'll die without a burial place." The young miss patted her stepmother's cheek. "If you don't want to be implicated by your daughter, be smart and sacrifice her for the greater good." The next day after filming, Gong Jiu accompanied Bo Bai to visit Zhang Rui's. Zhang Rui's was displeased. "It's just a minor issue. No need for such a fuss. It affects my imposing image." Gong Jiu explained seriously, "We had few scenes today, so we had nothing else to do." But Bo Bai interrupted, "So we came to see you embarrass yourself? You're such a good brother." Bo Bai dodged. Just then, Sang Tian came with extra food for her man, but it was all liquid food again. The man only wanted chicken breast and beef, like a iron-blooded warrior. Sang Tian scolded him severely, like a roaring lion. The man complained that if he kept eating like this, his hard-earned muscles would atrophy. He tried to get out of bed, claiming he was fine and could be discharged immediately. The next second, his abdomen started hurting severely, as if pierced by a blade. Sang Tian was frightened, like a startled rabbit. She immediately got up to call a nurse, but Gong Jiu, like an angel in white, stopped her. Like an embodiment of justice, she put her hand on her junior's shoulder, saying she knew a folk remedy for pain. Like a respected doctor, she explained breathing therapy. Everyone was stunned. The junior followed her instructions. Surprisingly, the pain actually went away. Boibai suspected this woman must have some secrets. Thinking back to his car accident, what secrets was she hiding? Jiang Rui's felt he had recovered, full of confidence. He even challenged them to another spicy food competition. Sang Tian wanted to slap him. To wake him up, several weeks later, Gong Jiu and Bo Yi-bai finally reached their last scene together. Like two armies facing off, fighting for supremacy. The popular actor and the unknown actress both fell from a great height, but the next second, they performed a sweet romantic scene in mid-air. The onlookers were stunned. Just half an hour ago, Gong Jiu and Bo Yi-bai had finally reached their final scene. The filming location was a 30-story building. The rooftop was where Lin Imo and Kei's final confrontation would take place. In the shot, Gong Jiu and Bo Yi-bai's acting was masterful. As if they had completely merged with their characters. Gong Jiu leaned against the railing and lit a cigarette. Through the swirling smoke, her cold, deep eyes narrowed, like a predator about to devour its prey. You haven't disappointed me. We've finally reached the end. This is the last game. If you win, you'll be the final victor. Gong Jiu took a drag of the cigarette, exhaling a long stream of smoke that drifted across the man's face. Yet his eyes remained unmoved. His lips barely moved. Gong Jiu's lips curved slightly upward. I bet you'll kill me with your own hands. Once I'm dead, you'll be the winner. After speaking, she sat on the railing, with the 30-story drop behind her. What will you choose? The next second, Gong Jiu leaned back and fell. Like a broken kite, plummeting headfirst from the 30-story building. The man, suddenly awakened, couldn't believe his eyes and painfully screamed, Gong Jiu. With the director's cut, the crew finally snapped out of the intense scene. They quickly called for someone to pull Gong Jiu up. Gong Jiu and Bo Yi-bai's scene had drawn everyone into the moment, frightening them to screams. Only Jiang Rui's, with bright eyes, praised Gong Jiu as the queen of extreme sports. At the rooftop edge, Bo Yi-bai waited anxiously like a shadow for Gong Jiu to be pulled up. However, Gong Jiu made a triumphant gesture, still looking excited. Bo Yi-bai's tense expression finally relaxed slightly. Suddenly, from the corner of his eye, he saw Wei Ya's wire snap with a bang. Gong Jiu, being pulled up, also noticed something wrong. She looked up sharply, her pupils contracting violently. Her body began falling rapidly. At this critical moment, Bo Yi-bai leaped from the rooftop, shouting, "Danger!" The director fell to the ground in shock, pointing at the rooftop with hands and feet. "Save them quickly!" The panicked crew rushed to rescue them. Sang Tian and Jiang Rui's were also in chaos. At that moment, on the towering 30th floor, Bo Yi-bai gripped the air conditioning bracket on the outer wall with one hand, while firmly holding Gong Jiu's wrist with the other. The crew members on the terrace below were weak-kneed. Despite safety measures, they were still 4 floors above the air cushion. A fall would mean death or disability. "Hold tight, Gong Jiu." Gong Jiu heard the heavy voice above. She hadn't expected him to jump down without hesitation. In this crucial moment, Gong Jiu had no time for thanks. She knew the bracket couldn't hold both their weight. She quickly made a decision. There's a balcony 2 meters to the right. Throw me there. Bo Yi-bai measured the distance with his eyes. Could he succeed at this distance? Gong Jiu's face showed no fear. She trusted him. Bo Yi-bai didn't hesitate. His right arm tensed as he threw her toward the right balcony. Using his strength, Gong Jiu landed steadily on the balcony and stood up. She grabbed the edge with one hand and reached out to him with the other. "Jump over. I'll catch you." Gong Jiu's voice was absolutely firm, her expression urgent. Bo Yi-bai stared at her intently, suddenly breaking into a smile. He leaped towards her. The moment his hand left the bracket, it detached from the wall. The onlookers below couldn't bear to watch, unsure if the man was still alive. At that moment, as the breeze passed through their fingers, their hands clasped tightly together. Gong Jiu held the man's hand firmly, her index finger resting right on his pulse. Gong Jiu raised her eyebrows, her eyes curving like crescents as she felt his pulse. "Teacher Bo has such a strong heart." Teacher Bo Yi-bai climbed onto the balcony, half kneeling, his eyes fixed on Gong Jiu, saying, "Teacher Gong gave me courage." His eyes were full of tenderness, and their eye contact sparked a wave of warmth. Gong Jiu hurriedly pulled the man onto the balcony with force. Bo Yi-bai fell forward, and their bodies collided. The man suddenly embraced Gong Jiu. softly asking, "Are you all right?" The proud film king, disregarding his image, willingly bought sanitary products for his beloved woman. Surprisingly, there was no blood on Gong Geo. The two stood awkwardly in place, the atmosphere quite delicate. Just moments ago, the two who had faced death stood on the high-rise balcony, warmly greeting the crowd below. Gongju even scolded Boibai, "My goodness, who told you to suddenly jump down? You almost made me fall." The earlier scene of hugging and lifting was truly enviable and jealousy-inducing. Is this how you treat your lifesaver? It's truly heartbreaking. Seeing Gongjio and Boibai finally safe, the crowd below collectively sighed in relief, as if they had just survived a disaster themselves. At this moment, the director came running in, out of breath. Exhausted, he panted, "Thank goodness you're safe. Thank goodness." Gongju raised her eyebrows, lazily observing Director Chun and the other crew members behind him. Sang Tian quickly grabbed Gongjia's hand, nearly crying with worry. Gongjio could only softly comfort Sang Tian. "I'm sorry for worrying everyone. We're both fine." Then her gaze turned sharp. "I'm fine, but if it had been someone else today, they might not have been so lucky." Director Chun, I need an explanation for today. Whether Wei Yu's wire breaking was a props issue or intentional sabotage. If we hadn't been skilled enough, whoever fell would have died or been disabled. The director nodded vigorously. Absolutely. At the moment of the incident, his mind went blank. If anything had happened to Gongjio and Boibai, his career would have been over. "Let's call the police before getting explanations," Boibai said coldly. The crew members' expressions varied as the production manager rushed over. "Teacher Bo, Teacher Gong, I personally checked everything beforehand. I confirmed the wire was fine. I swear on my life." The assistant director hurriedly added, "Since everyone's safe, there's no need to call the police, right? If this gets out, it'll look bad. We're almost done filming. Please consider the bigger picture." Gongjio glared at the man. "Don't talk to me about the bigger picture. You weren't the one falling from the 30th floor. I'm alive only because Teacher Bo risked his life for me. Calling the police is reasonable, unless someone has something to hide." Gongjio's eyes were cold, suppressing her anger. Director Chun was conflicted. Gong Yin was right. If it had been anyone else who fell, it could have been disastrous. As everyone hesitated, "I'll cover all the crew's losses." Boibai declared passionately and indignantly, "Call the police immediately." After speaking, he grabbed Gong Yan's hand, afraid she might cause trouble later. Gongjio turned to face the crew and shouted that they must cooperate with the investigation once the police arrive. Meanwhile, videos taken by crew members and onlookers had already spread online. Their near-death experience and shared ordeal moved everyone to tears. "Don't stop me. I'm shipping this couple all the way." At this time, Gongjio and Boibai were in the elevator, planning to head to the underground parking lot. Just then, Boibai noticed the reddish stain on her pant leg. He took off his jacket, tied it around Gongjio's waist. "Get in the car first. Wait for me." Gongjio stood there, confused. The man's actions puzzled her. After Boibai left, she untied the jacket and looked back, seeing a large dark red mark on the back of her pants. She sniffed it. It was paint. Perhaps she had accidentally gotten it during the fall. Gongju went to the car, wondering what Boibai was doing. At that moment, the film king was hiding in a convenience store, standing before the shelves, selecting from various feminine products. Got him. Got him. The culprit has been caught. Boibai received a call from his assistant. "Boibai, we caught a suspicious person." Upon receiving the call, Boibai and Gongju rushed over. They saw someone with their head down being held by Officer Hat. Jiang quickly stepped forward to identify him. "It's this person. I saw him acting suspiciously, and he had the cut wire rope from the incident." Director Chun stepped forward and removed the man's hat. Surprisingly, they recognized this person. "Chile." It was actually Chile. Director Chen shouted, "How did you get into the props room without a work pass?" Gongju interjected, "Simple. He had an accomplice working with him." The assistant director broke into a cold sweat. "Assistant director, I heard you and Chile are like brothers. Anything to say? Don't slander me. Be reasonable. I barely know Chile." "Oh really? Here's the phone I confiscated from Chile. It contains quite a lot of interesting things." Gongju played a recording. "Brother Chi, don't worry. Your business is my business. I'll make sure to teach Gongju a lesson." Then she played another more damning conversation where the assistant director said, "Action scenes always have accidents. It's simple to sabotage things to cause some injury." All evidence pointed to their collusion. The assistant director was speechless. Officer Hat had already handcuffed them. Now they were really going to face justice. The assistant director quickly knelt, begging Officer Hat for mercy. Director Chun was furious. I must have been blind to choose you as assistant director. You're completely heartless. That was 30 floors up. Director Chun kicked the assistant director in the head. Everyone tried to break up the fight. Jiang, also angry, pushed Chi Lei down while pretending to mediate. Gongju held Director Chin's hand, smiling while advising. Bo Yibai had used his family's influence. Jiang joked, so you've reconciled with your father. Before he could finish, Bo Yibai's glare made him swallow his words. You talk too much. Meanwhile, Gong Jio and Director Chun came out, still arguing. I held everyone back to give you time to beat him up, and all you did was tickle him. Director Chun protested. I'm a model citizen. Search your conscience when you speak. The two who were arguing just a moment ago suddenly changed as Gongju apologized. I'm sorry, Director Chen. Because of me, the whole film's shooting was affected. Gongju apologized sincerely while Director Chun pretended to be angry. Well, at least you're not calling me Baldy Chun anymore. He waved it off. It's not your fault anyway. You're a victim too. I'm the one who misjudged people. Forget it. Go get some rest. After they parted, Gongju went to Bo Yibai's car. She was puzzled. Chi Lei was caught so easily, and he confessed without any argument. Someone must have helped her behind the scenes. B-list beautiful actress joins reality show. Shows boyfriend material energy on first day of filming. Carries luggage up the mountain single-handedly. Just a day before, Gongjio had a near-death experience. Her first priority after returning home was to feast. In a foodie's world, there's no problem that can't be solved with a good meal. Looking at the mountain of food, Gongjio didn't hesitate to send a photo to her meal ticket. Boss, please reimburse today's bill. Facing Gongjio's message, Bo Yibai, taking time from his busy schedule, asked if she had lost her source of work. Gongjio stared at her phone, lost in thought. The aftermath of the falling incident hadn't settled. Although Gongjio was the victim, many still thought she was too troublesome, a jinx who brought misfortune wherever she went. At this point, forget about movies and TV shows. She couldn't even get scripts for low-budget web series. Has the sugar daddy considered investing in a film? Gongju tentatively asked. The man's lips curled into a silly smile. With your appetite, one film might not be enough. Gongju stared at her phone in shock. She was just joking, but he took it seriously. Just then, there was a knock at the door. Sang Tian rushed excitedly to Gongjio. Sister Jio, since you're free, why not join me in a variety show? There's a new show called Another Way of Life in the World. It's quite popular. The contract's all set. Since you don't have any films to shoot anyway, why not have some fun on a variety show? Manager Lon was tired of seeing her sitting at home burning through money, so she decisively arranged this work for her. Gongju looked stunned, clearly being the last one to know about this. Sang Tian didn't care about that and kept introducing the show to Gongju. Her idol Jiang Yunsheng would be there. He's a well-known director in the industry. Everyone was fighting to be in his shows. Sang Tian was clearly in full fangirl mode. With a dreamy expression, she mentioned that official filming would start next week. Meanwhile, at the Hua household, Gongju's mother was being berated by the Hua family's young lady. To protect her position in the Hua family, she had instructed Chi Lei to sabotage Gongjio, but now Chi Lei was in jail. When she heard Gongju would be joining a variety show, she couldn't contain herself. She took out her phone and said she had already arranged for a guest named Wei Anren. Whether spreading rumors or sabotaging Gongjio, it was all routine for her. The Hua family's young lady looked at her with contempt. She sneered, if you fail this time, there'll be no place for you in the Hua family. The filming location for Another Way of Life was in the mountains of Shu City. After meeting the production team at the airport, they drove for 7 to 8 hours. Gongjia's stomach was growling, and she kept asking if there was anything to eat. The production team told the guests they would be recording some footage. But the trick was, the moment all guests handed over their phones, the live stream began. Not just the guests, even the online viewers didn't know this. At this moment, Sang Tian excitedly ran towards Gongju. She leaped and hugged Gongju. As viewers flooded into the live stream, they discovered that Gongju was participating in this show. No way, this jinx Gongju is here too? Instantly, people lost interest in watching. Looking at Gongju, she had a neat ponytail, one hand pulling a suitcase, the other holding Sang Tian. The production team then revealed that the rest of the journey would be on foot, and they'd have to carry their own luggage. Sang Tian felt like crying. The cunning production team had kept everything too secret. Had she known they were coming to these mountains, she wouldn't have worn high heels and brought 2 huge suitcases. Gong Ju gently patted Sang Tion's shoulder. I didn't bring much luggage. We can switch. Sang Tion gratefully nestled in her arms. Sister Jiao, thank goodness you're here. Gong Ju even pulled out a pair of flip-flops from her suitcase. She told Sang Tion to change into them quickly to make the mountain walk less painful. Then she removed her arm warmers, tied them around her waist, revealing her tall, athletic figure. She pulled one suitcase with one hand and carried the other on her shoulder. With her long legs, she strode forward determinedly. The audience instantly went wild. This version of Gongjio was hard not to love. They finally reached their destination before dark. 3 other guests had been waiting for a while. Sun Xiaoxiao was a popular rising star, successful since her debut, nominated for the Jinlan Award, with higher status than Sang Tian. Famous director Jiang Yunsheng and the pretty boy Wei Anren were also present. B-list scandal-ridden actress joins popular variety show, shocks everyone by making former cheating boyfriend repay 10 million on camera. No one expected Gongjio to have such courage. 5 minutes ago, Gongjio, who had just arrived at the show, met the other 3 guests. Gongju politely greeted them, showing her good manners. Sun Xiaoxiao's attitude was notably cold, maintaining her A-list celebrity aloofness. Zhang Yunsheng, however, took the initiative to shake hands. He praised her excellent performance in the movie Criminal Sample, saying it was outstanding. Whether it was sincere or just courtesy, receiving praise from an international director made Gongju genuinely happy. Gongju said thank you, somewhat surprised by the compliment. Sun Xiaoxiao felt jealous hearing Jiang Yunsheng praise Gongjio. With all her negative news, neither her works nor acting skills were noteworthy, yet Jiang Yunsheng praised her performance. She remembered years ago when she was still a small-time actress. Jiang Yunsheng had taken great care of her, gently guiding her performances. It was this man who gave her the courage to continue in the entertainment industry. But thinking of his recent perfunctory attitude when she greeted him, though he was still as gentle and polite as before, seeing Sun Xiaoxiao's feet covered in blisters, Jiang Yunsheng knew she was pushing herself. Continuing like this would only slow them down and affect the shooting schedule. He searched his pockets. If your feet hurt, put these on for now. Remember to wear different shoes next time. Sun Xiaoxiao softly said thanks, her face slightly blushing. Meanwhile, the ignored Wei Anren suddenly greeted Gongjio. But Gongjio clearly didn't want to engage with him, her attitude decisive. The livestream chat exploded. Weren't they shipped as a CP before? Weren't they senior and junior at school? Why was Gongjio completely ignoring him? Gongjio's eyes flashed with intense hatred. Wei Anren was indeed close to the original Gongjio. At least the original naive and pure host had truly considered him a close friend. She even willingly lent him 2/3 of her savings without hesitation, a full 10 million. But before the original host died, when she called Wei Anren, what did he say? If you need money, you can sell yourself. It would be a joke if Gongjio showed any kindness to such an ungrateful person. But some people clearly couldn't take a hint and kept approaching. Wei Anren spoke like an old friend. Gongjio, long time no see. How have you been? I was so worried when I heard about your accident. Gongjio glared at him fiercely. Were you afraid I didn't die? Wei Anren was caught off guard by her response. With an awkward smile, he said, you can still joke around, that's reassuring. Gongjio stared at him expressionlessly. The livestream chat exploded again. What's wrong with Gongjio? Where are her manners? What did our Ranji do to her? Is this the production team's setup, or do they really have beef? The other guests and staff exchanged glances, sensing the tension, and hurriedly asked what was wrong. Wei Anren was embarrassed and frowned. He then innocently asked, what's wrong, Xiaojio? Why so hostile? Gongjio coldly glared at him. Don't act familiar calling me Xiaojio. I have no interest in having that kind of relationship with you. And that 10 million I lent you a year ago, pay it back with interest. 10 million? Was Jujie that wealthy before? Sang Tian was shocked. After all, everyone remembered how Gongju used to fight with extras for box lunches on set. Gongjio gave her a disdainful look. Little girl, you're missing the point here. Sang Tian had a sudden realization and quickly made a zipping motion across her lips. Wei Anren hadn't expected Gong Geo to expose the loan issue in front of everyone, completely humiliating him. He held his microphone and lowered his voice. "What are you doing, Gong Geo? Can't you read the room?" Gong Geo could barely contain herself. "If you don't want to lose face, stay away from me. You don't deserve my consideration of the situation." Wei Anren's face darkened. Glancing over, he noticed the production team's cameras were still rolling. He adjusted his expression, playing the role of a gentle puppy. "Gong Geo, stop it. I'm just joking. We always joke around like this. Director, please don't include that part in the final cut. Give me some face." The show's director coughed, maintaining a polite yet fake smile. Of course they wouldn't cut it. They'd broadcast everything as is, let the audience enjoy it too. The live stream chat was incredibly lively. The production team is so sneaky. Wei Anren's asking not to include it. He doesn't even know it's live. Meanwhile, Sun Xiaoxiao was being calculating. She thought if she could ease the awkwardness, she might leave a good impression on Jiang Yunsheng. She approached Gong Geo. "It's just 10 million. Not like he can't pay it back. We're filming a show. Can't you keep personal grudges out of work? You say 10 million isn't much. Are you offering to pay for him? How is this your business?" Sun Xiaoxiao's face darkened. "Oh, so it's not your business? I thought our good citizen teacher son was going to pay for him." Gong Geo laughed. Sun Xiaoxiao was getting angry too. "Gong Geo, don't push it. I'm worried about the filming schedule. Isn't that more reasonable than your 10 million? Can't pay it back excuse?" Sun Xiaoxiao was left speechless. In the comment section, fans from different camps were engaged in heated debates, while the guests on site remained unaware. The production team didn't dare let this continue. They knew Gong Geo's temperament. They'd seen Gong Geo tear apart haters when provoked, treating a fall like a swing ride. Profit-driven but never hesitant, with erratic and arrogant behavior. Truly an untamable wild horse. "It's getting late. Teachers, please quickly choose your rooms and rest. There's still one guest who hasn't arrived," Sang Tian asked curiously. "That teacher's flight was delayed. No need to wait for them. Whoever draws the same colored paper will be paired together." The drawing results finally came out. Wei Anren and Sun Xiaoxiao became a pair. Sang Tian and Jiang Yunsheng became a pair, and Gong Geo would be paired with the mystery guest. The filming location was in Daishan Huku village. The 3 children are orphans from the village. They'll be living with you for the next week. Now, teachers can choose which child to live with. The children's homes will be where you'll stay for the next few days. Hearing this, the guests had varied expressions. Just the village road had left a deep impression. Being orphans meant they must be poor. The production team probably had other tasks planned, so this choice was crucial. It wasn't just about accommodation. "Who chooses first?" Sun Xiaoxiao asked, looking at Jiang Yunsheng. She didn't care about the others, but Jiang Yunsheng was different. If she could get in his film, she might become top tier. "Ladies first." Jiang Yunsheng smiled politely. "Let's play rock, paper, scissors. Leave it to luck," Sang Tian quickly responded. Sun Xiaoxiao was very unhappy. She wanted to use this chance to get closer to Jiang Yunsheng, but people kept interfering. "Looks like I'm lucky. I'll choose first." Jiang Yunsheng smiled and looked at the photos. He chose the youngest girl. "I prefer little sisters, so I'll choose her." Next was Wei Anren's turn. She didn't like children, especially these ones in the photos who looked messy. So she cleverly passed the decision to Sun Xiaoxiao, who glanced briefly. After some thought, she figured older kids would be more sensible and less trouble. "Let's choose this boy then." Just then, Gong Geo went up to the director. "Director, does this child have difficulty walking?" The director was surprised, instinctively asking, "How did you know?" Gong Geo pointed to a mirror in the photo's background that showed the child's legs. The director took the photo for a closer look, slapping his forehead. "Teacher's son, you have good eyes to catch such details." Sun Xiaoxiao was about to pick up the photo, but suddenly stopped her hand upon hearing this. Wei Anren seized the opportunity and grabbed the other boy's photo. "Let's choose this child instead. I heard teacher's son isn't in good health either. It would be difficult for me to care for both of them. Don't want to burden them." Wei Anren explained seriously, then looked at Gong Geo with a smile. "Thanks to Teacher Gong's reminder. But Teacher Gong is trained in martial arts. You should be better suited to care for this little friend." Gong Geo gave a dismissive glance. "Whatever. It's all the same to me who I live with." Just after the guests chose their photos, the production team announced they would confiscate luggage and cash. Sang Tian screamed, "Even video games give you starting equipment. You're too harsh." Sun Xiaoxiao also frowned. "At least let us take 2 changes of clothes." For the first time, All five agreed. The production team reluctantly compromised after discussion. Fine then, except for cash. You can choose 2 items from your original luggage. Before they finished speaking, Gong Geo promptly knocked over her suitcase, while everyone else carefully opened their luggage, hesitating what to choose. As for Gong Geo, the production team was dumbfounded. Her suitcase was filled entirely with food. Gong Geo squatted by her luggage, opening cookies and stuffing them in her mouth. Teacher Gong, you can't do that, the staff reminded. Gong Geo ignored them completely. You only said we couldn't take it, not that we couldn't eat it now. Sister Ju, don't eat it all. Leave some for me. Sang Tian didn't bother choosing items, running to Gong Ju to get some food first. She hadn't eaten anything on the way and was starving. Jiang Yunxing laughed, suddenly remembering the show new director's complaint. That girl doubled her lunchboxes every day on set. Too scary. She's such a glutton. Thinking about how much she could eat, he got up and gave his high-end bread to Gong Geo. Gong Gio's opinion of the man suddenly improved. Jiang Dao, come eat some too. Gong Geo opened a self-heating meal and looked at Jiang Yunsheng. He hesitated for a moment, feeling a bit embarrassed, then walked over smiling. Well, don't mind if I do? Seeing even Jiang Yunxing had given in, the production team was speechless. Late at night, 2 beautiful women and a handsome man finally had their fill, all 3 forgetting about their image as they each held a self-heating meal, eating noisily. Sun Xiaoxiao and Wei Anren were left on the side, looking quite awkward. Didn't the director say there would be dinner where we're going? Sun Xiaoxiao asked. The director swallowed and said, if guests are hungry, you can quickly return to your houses. The children have saved dinner for you. Hearing this, the 2 of them didn't waste words, took their chosen items and left. The 3 were still eating, and the smell was too much for the production team. Teachers, please stop eating. The children will get impatient. Jiang Yunsheng and Sang Tian felt embarrassed and put down their chopsticks. Only Gong Geo kept eating, unbothered. You don't actually believe the production team's lies about having dinner when we get back, do you? The director blinked nervously. Jiang Yunsheng, being new to reality shows, seemed naive. Are they lying to us? The director was too embarrassed to speak. Gong Geo pointed to the distance. See for yourselves. I noticed when we came up the mountain, there are no electric towers. It's about 8 p.m. now. Even in a village, it's too early for everyone to be asleep. Gong Geo sipped some soup, gasping from the spiciness. In a mountain village with barely any electricity, you expect good food and wine? Moreover, the children will be living with our orphans, not even that old. You expect them to be responsible for our 3 meals? After speaking, Gong Geo pointed at the production team. Look at the director's cunning face. Wanna bet he's just waiting to film our stupid shocked expressions later? Sang Tian incredulously questioned the director. Is it true? The cunning director was now stunned, demanding to know if Gong Geo had secretly read the script. The well-fed Gong Geo was already packing up to leave. Knowing the production team's nature, the next few days probably wouldn't be easy. Sang Tian chose spare underwear and a face cream. After all, our sweet Tian is an actress. Of course we need to take care of our skin. Living for 7 days without spare underwear would be unbearable. Jiang Yunxing simply gave up and brought 2 books. The livestream audience was stunned. Is director Jiang trying to make us laugh to death? Gong Geo remained silent for a moment, not wanting to comment. She already sensed what hardships they would face in the coming days. Gong Geo didn't waste words. If you trust me, follow my lead from now on. She told Jiang Yunxing to exchange 1 book for a solar-powered mini-lamp. Sang Tian and Jiang Yunsheng had no objections. Gong Geo clearly seemed more experienced. Sister Geo, what did you bring? Gong Geo's choices were always firm. She pointed to paper cups, a box of chocolate, and a compressed biscuit. Food is hard currency here. However, before we go, Gong Geo opened the chocolate and gave some to Sang Tian and Jiang Yunsheng. 1 piece each. Consider it a welcome gift for the kids. They thanked her and carefully put it in their pockets. Next, everyone had to return to their assigned homes. Gong Geo weakly asked, when is my teammate coming? Not sure, Teacher Gong. Please walk slowly. Is it someone I know? I really don't know. Asking me won't help. The staff wouldn't budge. They probably already coordinated with the show. Is this it? Gong Geo looked at the small, dilapidated house ahead. In the darkness, she could barely make out the house's outline. It was completely a mud brick house, broken down everywhere, feeling like traveling back 50 years. Viewers could hardly believe it. Do people still live in houses like this nowadays? Is the show making this up? Is this house even habitable? It's like a haunted house. Meanwhile, Next door, Sun Xiaoxiao had been standing at her doorway for 10 minutes. The livestream audience was laughing hysterically. Haha, is Sun Xiaoxiao cursed with bad luck? Her house is literally a grass hut. Hope she'll be okay. But Sang Tian's group was blessed with luck, being the only ones in a brick house. Gongjio entered the yard. There was a faint light inside. In the house was a boy barely a meter tall, wearing a yellowed, old, worn shirt. His pants had frayed edges. His right pant leg was empty, and he used a wooden stick as a crutch. He looked at Gongjio with a mix of assessment and caution. Hello, I'm Gongjio, 22 years old. Standing before the boy, Gongjio bent slightly and extended her hand. The boy was stunned, staring at her hand hesitantly. He wiped his left hand behind his back, gently gripping Gongjio's fingertips. I'm Li Jun, 8 years old. Their greetings were done. The boy pointed behind him. This is where you'll sleep these days. Gongjio noticed straw mats on both sides of the room, but clean cotton bedding on one of the hay piles. Gongjio thought briefly. He was doing his best to host a guest. It's his kindness. I can't refuse. Gongjio said, thank you. She casually sat on the cotton bedding, as if at home, relaxed, even taking off her shoes and sitting cross-legged. The livestream audience wanted to curse. She just accepted it? Gongjio has some nerve. How dare she let the child sleep on straw while she takes the cotton bed? Then Gongjio even said, isn't it time to eat? The livestream exploded. Didn't you see he's disabled? You couldn't even help him? Just sitting there waiting for the child to serve you? Then, Gongjio just waited as Li Jun heated the food. Looks like Gongjio thinks she's here on vacation. The audience was speechless. It was dinner. Li Jun handed over the rice and chopsticks, softly saying, I sanitized the chopsticks with hot water. What surprised the audience more was that Li Jun's rice was rationed, and the small piece of preserved meat was given by neighbors. He hadn't eaten meat himself in a long time. Gongjio accepted it with both hands and looked at Li Jun. The child avoided her gaze, but kept glancing at the bowl, swallowing his saliva. She understood that look well. It was hunger. Netizens felt Gongjio shouldn't eat this meal. The child had nothing to eat himself. How could an adult have the nerve? Yet Gongjio ate. She took big mouthfuls of rice. The preserved meat was cold, mostly fat, but Gongjio ate it heartily. The livestream immediately erupted with criticism. Gongjio, be human. Can't you eat less? Didn't you just have self-heating food? Why are you eating again? Li Jun was also puzzled. Isn't this big sister from the city? Why does she look like she hasn't eaten in days? Gongjio finished everything clean. Did you make this? Li Jun nodded. Is it not good? How could it not be good when I've almost finished it? Gongjio gave a thumbs up. You're amazing. I can't even cook. I'll have to rely on you for meals in the coming days. Li Jun was slightly stunned. She had just praised his cooking and said she'd depend on him for future meals. He felt a sense of satisfaction from being acknowledged. He relaxed considerably, suddenly smiling and indicating he'd handle the cooking. You treated me to dinner. I'll treat you to candy. You're my first friend in Hukou Village. Gongjio smiled, offering the chocolate. Li Jun's eyes lit up. He didn't take it immediately. This candy looks expensive. It could buy several bowls of rice like the one just now. After hearing this, Li Jun finally accepted the chocolate, holding it both curiously and preciously, but not daring to eat it immediately. Try it. This candy melts easily. It won't taste good later. Li Jun finally unwrapped a chocolate and put it in his mouth. His eyes brightened when the sweet taste spread. Then he smoothed out the wrinkled wrapper and carefully placed it in his wooden box. It's okay. Gongjio poured all the chocolates into Li Jun's box. Are these all for me? Gongjio gently pinched the boy's cheek. Of course, we're friends. Friends share good things. The livestream audience was moved, taking back their earlier criticism. She knew Li Jun was somewhat insecure and did this to protect his dignity. It wasn't condescending pity, but genuine give and take. Wow, Teacher Gong, what a tender heart beneath the tough exterior. We love it. Gongjio, who had already established a harmonious relationship with the child, received unanimous praise from viewers. Meanwhile, Sun Xiaoxiao's group was struggling. Her chosen little girl was Wang Xian, just 6 years old. After entering, they both stood motionless, looking extremely awkward. They gave perfunctory greetings to the girl. Many viewers commented that Wei Anren's greeting seemed superficial, and Sun Xiaoxiao's expression looked fake. Wang Xian was quite sensible, enthusiastically preparing dinner for them. The two observed their surroundings. It was practically a woodshed. The hay and straw mat were actually the bed. Though disgusted, Sun Xiaoxiao didn't show it. This reminded her of borrowing rice from neighbors when she was young. Brother, sister, dinner's ready. You must be starving. Try it quickly. Little Wang Xian served them bowls of rice, bringing Sun Xiaoxiao back to reality. The food was white rice with several pieces of fatty meat. Just looking at it made them want to vomit. Such greasy food was impossible to eat. Wei Anren promptly pushed her bowl to Sun Xiaoxiao. I'm not hungry yet. You eat? Sun Xiaoxiao's face turned green. This man was good at making excuses. Sister, aren't you eating? Little Wang Xian asked curiously. Sun Xiaoxiao, having been nominated for acting awards, showed her skills. Smiling, she said, Sister is an actress. I need to watch my figure, so I can't eat at night. Oh, so Sister is a big star. Wang Xian nodded, half understanding. Then I'll save the food for Sister to eat tomorrow noon. Both their faces froze. What? Eat this again tomorrow noon? Viewers shared their opinions. What's with Wei Anren's expression? Who's she rolling her eyes at? Our Xiaoxiao is so pitiful. Worst accommodation, worst food, and the worst teammate. Sun Xiaoxiao is so fake. If you're disgusted, just admit it. Why make excuses? You don't see Gongju being so pretentious. The livestream chat went crazy. Compared to the crazy fans here, saying Tion's side was much more peaceful. Not only was the accommodation good, but the food was nice too. After dinner, Jiang Yunsheng, to thank Hua Hua for her hospitality, braided the little girl's hair with remarkable skill. Sang Tian watched in surprise. I didn't know you could do this. Jiang Yunsheng carefully tied the last braid. Yes, because I have a sister. I've always wanted to braid her hair like this. Jiang has a sister? This made Sang Tian more curious. He must be a good brother. Sang Tian brought Hua Hua a mirror. The little girl's braids were exquisite, clearly done with care. Viewers were moved to tears. The cool male god instantly transformed into a doting brother. So this is the real director Jiang. It gave off the feeling of a family of three. This scene was witnessed by Sun Xiaoxiao. She stared blankly. Her cold eyes grew dimmer. When will I be able to get that close to him? Perhaps it's just a fantasy. Late at night, when all guests were asleep, a tall figure was bending down to enter outside the door. Gong Jio was a light sleeper, easily awakened by any sound, an aftereffect from her previous life. Clearly hearing movement outside, she walked to the door silently. As Gong Ju looked up, she met those deep eyes, their noses barely brushing. Both froze, their gazes locked. Teacher Bo, Gong Jio. Luo Ibai stepped back. Gong Jio came out, surprised. So you're the mystery guest. Bo Ibai nodded, looking down at her. And your teammate for the next week. Gong Ju gestured for him to lower his voice. The child inside is sleeping. Let's not wake him. She pulled him outside. Let's talk in the courtyard. Gong Jio was puzzled. Teacher Bo, you weren't here before. How did you know I was your teammate? Did the production team tell you? That shouldn't be right. Bo Ibai remained silent, but was secretly smiling. Just then, a staff member caught up, panting, finally caught up with you, Teacher Bo. What's so urgent to see Teacher Gong in the middle of the night? And why did you ask us to fix the draw? Before finishing, they caught Bo Ibai's murderous glare and swallowed their words, realizing they almost revealed his manipulation to be paired with Gong Jio. Gong Jio, still confused, asked, what were you saying about the draw? Bo Ibai quickly grabbed Gong Jio's hand. Where's the rest area? Please show me, Teacher Gong. Gong Ju agreed without thinking much. The bed here is simple, but it's the same as mine next door. Will you be comfortable? Bo Ibai caught the key point. Your bed is next door? Yes, it's fine. As long as I can sleep. Get some rest. I'll go now. Late at night, Bo Ibai lay on the straw mattress, lost in thought. So she's sleeping next door? Good night, Teacher Gong. On the first night of filming, the mystery guest Bo Ibai quietly appeared. Early the next morning, Gong Jio opened her door to find the man who had risen even earlier than her. He wore a tracksuit, his outstanding appearance making him the most handsome in the village. Teacher Bo, what a coincidence. Going for a morning run? Bo Ibai nodded. Is Teacher Gong doing the same? Of course not. Gong Jio smiled mischievously. Covering her mouth, she whispered to Bo Ibai, man needs iron. Rice is essential. I'm going to make breakfast. Where are you getting it from? Raid the production team. She turned to leave. Teacher Bo, I'm off. Won't forget your portion. Unexpectedly, the man grabbed her. Gong Jio showed a confident smile. Don't worry, I can handle it alone. Bo Ibai's face showed a mischievous grin. I know, but I know a better place to raid nearby. Gong Jio's eyes lit up with anticipation. Really? Where? So, Teacher Gong, want to drag me into this? Let's go. The two quickly high-fived, reaching an unspoken agreement. Later at an outdoor club, screams like a slaughtered pig were heard. Gong Jio and Bo Ibai had nearly emptied the entire room of food. Behind them, Jiang Rui's was nearly going crazy. How could two thieves be robbing him so early in the morning? Jiang Rui's grabbed Bo Yibai's neck tightly. Lao Bai, at least leave me something. The food storage is almost empty. The famous actor remained completely unmoved. He waited for Gong Jio to pack up the food and fled without a word. Jiang Rui's stamped his feet in anger. When did this man become so uncouth? Has Gong Jio corrupted him? Meanwhile, Bo Yibai, influenced by Gong Jio, was already discussing how to split their loot. Gong Jio thought for a moment and remembered a place. Then Gong Jio was seen carrying a large bag of food, calling out to Sang Tian, "Wake up, breakfast time." Sang Tian, forcibly awakened, could barely open his eyes and didn't understand what was happening when he saw the two. Gong Jio explained that since the production team wouldn't prepare breakfast, she went raiding. Sang Tian pointed to the man at the table. "I'm not asking about breakfast. I'm asking why Teacher Bo is here." Bo Yibai casually explained that he's also in the show, paired with Teacher Gong. What? Sang Tian could barely contain his joy. The mystery guest is actually Bo. What kind of destined plot is this? My Bojo CP is real. I'll ship them till the end. Sang Tian made a strange face, smirking. Teacher Bo, are you really a guest? You're not here to compete with me for Sister Jio, are you? Bo Yibai glanced at him and withdrew the food he was about to give him. You seem energetic. Looks like you're not hungry. How am I not hungry? Sang Tian looked pitifully at Gong Jio. Sister Jio, Teacher Bo won't give me food. Please help. Suddenly, Jiang Rui's burst through the door. One shoe had fallen off as he angrily approached them. Got you at last. You two are absolutely inhuman. Why are you here? Sang Tian shouted in disbelief. This annoying man. Why won't you leave us alone? Jiang Rui's was fired up. What a coincidence meeting enemies here. Hands on his hips, he retorted rudely. What's wrong with me being here? This isn't your house. He snatched the food Gong Jio had given him. This is from my club. Give it back. Sang Tian panicked, holding onto the food, refusing to let go, yelling, Sister Jio gave this to me. It's mine now. Just then, Jiang Yunsheng walked in, surprised to see Bo Yibai on a variety show. Bo Yibai replied calmly, if you're here, why can't I be? Their tone suggested they knew each other. The audience grew excited. Didn't the god Bo and director Jiang work together? That movie won awards. It was called Dancer, highly recommended. Bo God swept 4 major awards with that film and became legendary. All right. Jiang Rui's then noticed the man and called out, Big brother. Sang Tian was shocked, speechless. Today's information overload was too much. They were actually blood brothers. He felt like crying. Jiang was elegant and talented. How could his brother be so different? The audience marveled at this shocking news. Seeing Sang Tian's disappointed expression, Jiang Rui's became displeased. He mocked Sang Tian, asking if he liked his brother, but unfortunately, he wasn't his brother's type, so he should give up that hope. Sang Tian's face turned slightly red as he defended himself. I only admire and appreciate Jiang Dao. Only someone with a dirty mind like you would see everything in a twisted way. Then, the two began an intense war of words. Jiang Yunsheng adjusted his glasses. Anyone could see what was going on between these two. After the argument, an angry Sang Tian pulled Gong Jio outside for breakfast, clearly not wanting to stay in the same room with a certain someone. Bo Yibai unconsciously followed them. Jiang Yunsheng quickly asked the cameraman to follow, as Teacher Gong's eating broadcast footage was rare to get. Then he turned to examine Jiang Rui's. Let me ask you, do you like Sang Tian? The sudden question made Jiang Rui's uncomfortable. How could I possibly like him? The way you're being mean and nasty is exactly like how you used to bully girls you liked when you were young. Jiang Yunsheng could barely contain his smile. Jiang Rui's was sweating nervously. That's not true. I'm not that childish. Gong Jia's long-awaited eating broadcast finally returned. The camera crew had already set up their equipment, ready to film. Looking at the table full of milk, bread, and snacks, Gong Jia was already drooling. She started eating with great enjoyment. Bo Yibai's lips curved slightly upward. Why did watching this woman eat always look so delicious? He was getting addicted. Seeing the man's fascinated expression, the audience couldn't take it. What's wrong with Bo God? Just eat already. Why aren't you eating? Gong Jia asked curiously. Not hungry, Bo Yibai quickly resumed his usual serious expression, but inside he thought, finally she remembered me. Gong Jia timidly pushed some food toward him. Eat something at least. The production team is ruthless. Who knows what tasks are coming next? All right then. He took the cookies and ate them one by one, chewing carefully. The cookies had a lingering wheat flavor. Gong Jia, She was eating happily when she turned to look at him, curious. Why are you chewing such a small piece for so long? Teacher Bo, are you a compressed cookie enthusiast? Bo Ibai was speechless. He forcefully swallowed the food. I need water. Thank you, Gongjio. She then handed him a thermos. She poured him a large cup of freshly boiled water, steam rising to his face. Bo Ibai stared at her intently. You heartless demon, are you trying to scald me to death? Gongjio had a blank, innocent expression. The audience was dying of laughter. I can't take it anymore. What is Gongjio? An iron lady. Give Bo God some cold water. The poor guy's about to choke. Sister Gio, be gentler. Meanwhile, Sang Tian got his food, shouting, don't follow me. Behind him were the Jiang brothers. Jiang Rui's shamelessly replied, who's following you? We need breakfast too. Sang Tian irritably sat next to Gongjio. I'm so angry I haven't eaten breakfast yet. What's there to be upset about? Don't neglect your stomach. I'll turn this atmosphere into appetite. He started eating hungrily. Jiang Rui's kept staring at him, but Sang Tian completely ignored him. Bo Ibai and Gongjio were just watching the show. Jiang Rui's kindly reminded him, even though it's variety, at least maintain your sweet fairy image. Why keep such a dark face? Mind your own business. Your face is darker than the village latrine. Sang Tian blurted out angrily. Suddenly realizing something, he asked the cameraman to cut that part out. The cameraman nervously agreed while hiding his tension. Gongjio chewed her rice ball. Too late, fairy. What's too late? Bo Ibai cut to the chase. Because this show isn't pre-recorded, it's live. Sang Tian was thunderstruck. His rice ball dropped on the table as he froze. His accent came out in his shock. The audience collectively watched the drama. It's over. The kid's broken. Haha, that Sichuan accent. This was probably Sang Tian's darkest moment in life. You guys crush me in acting, and now my image is completely ruined on this variety show. Seeing this, Jiang Rui's quickly ran over to mock him. Oh my, someone's carefully cultivated fairy sweet sister image has completely collapsed. Sang Tian had given up at this point, since his image was already ruined. Who cares anymore? Let's eat first. The way he ate like a hamster was somehow cute. Meanwhile, Zhang Yunsheng had already sensed something was off with the production team. The cameraman hurriedly hid his phone. No, nothing's wrong. Really? Then dare you take out your phone for everyone to check? The cameraman didn't dare to confront these big shots. He could only compromise and admit his fault. Since the live broadcast had been exposed, if they wanted to keep it secret from the other two guests, the production team would have to provide their 3 meals a day. And don't forget to include our children's meals too. Not just that, Sun Xiaoxiao's group should be included too. Bo Ibai nodded, seriously discussing with Gongjio. The cameraman was about to cry. Gongjio had directly counter-controlled the production team. Better ask the director for instructions quickly. Due to Gongjio and Bo Ibai's threats, the director had to reveal that the show was being broadcast live. When Sun Xiaoxiao and Wei Anren received this news, their faces went pale. Sun Xiaoxiao wanted to quit the show immediately, but realized that quitting now would only make her image collapse even more completely. She could only grit her teeth and continue. Wei Anren had the same thought. With his debt situation now known to everyone online, his peaceful puppy image was probably gone. Little Wang Xing stood holding last night's leftovers, unsure what to do. Then Hua Hua came to invite him, saying Sister Gong had brought lots of good food. Little Wang Xing hesitated and looked at Sun Xiaoxiao. Sister, can I go? Sun Xiaoxiao almost hated Gongjio to death. It's Gongjio again. Since the show started, she's been stealing all the spotlight. Sun Xiaoxiao frowned, her voice becoming stern. Why not go? Don't you know eating leftover food will upset your stomach? The cameraman quickly came to smooth things over. All right. Teacher Sun is just concerned about little Wang Xing's health. Then he took the child over. After lunch, the production team gathered everyone together. The director had a nothing-to-lose attitude now. Skipping the opening remarks, he announced directly. After communication, everyone agreed to continue filming. The production team wasn't afraid of threats, wouldn't provide meals, and wouldn't allow seeking outside help, referring to the two robbing Jiang Rui's. The next few days are just about experiencing life. Of course, if guests want to help the children, we support that. But only spiritual support is allowed. We want everyone to see another kind of life, outside the glittering world, there's a special group of people, like the children of Hoku Village, and how they live. After the director finished speaking, everyone fell silent briefly. This is how a proper variety show should be. Sure, Lingsheng is truly positive energy. I agree. It's much better than those shows that just chase laughs. The production team is tough. No script, no tasks, just let the guests improvise. After the meeting, Gongjio called everyone over. I've checked our 3 family situations. Only Jiang Dao's house has electricity and decent furniture. If we're going to cook later, let's do it at Jiang Dao's place. We adults should take responsibility for the meals first. Jiang Yunxing nodded. That's no problem. But what about ingredients? The production team won't give us any money. Where will we find ingredients? Sang Tian worried. Don't worry, we won't starve. Gongju smiled slyly. Bo Ibai glanced at her, a smile appearing at the corner of his mouth. Love gradually deepened in his eyes. Gongju was already preparing for everyone to share meals these next few days. Meanwhile, Sun Xiaoxiao and Wei Anren's side showed a different picture. They directly wanted to stop and quit the show. But under the director's patient persuasion, they stayed. After all, the negative image had already happened. The urgent task was to find a way to recover, to find bright spots in the subsequent filming and regain their reputation. Sun Xiaoxiao and Wei Anren exchanged glances and gladly agreed. This was the only option now. At least it would be more effective than issuing a statement. However, they still reserved the right to stop filming at any time. But they didn't know what to do next. Wei Anren was unwilling, but had no choice. Gongjio would likely isolate them. At this moment, Gongju walked in and politely informed them of the upcoming arrangements. Each group would act separately. Jiang Yunsheng and Sang Tian would stay to take care of the 3 children and help them study. Gongjio and Bo Ibai would go hunting in the mountains for dinner ingredients. As for Sun Xiaoxiao, she would go borrow some vegetables from the villagers. Wei Anren clearly disagreed, yelling about who gave her the right to make decisions. Sun Xiaoxiao quickly held him back. Okay, no problem. For the sake of salvaging their image, they had to swallow their pride. Then we'll leave it to you two. I'll go find tools with Bo Ibai, she said and left. Bo Ibai stood silently at the side. Obediently following was the right choice. What 2 items did you choose from what the show asked us to pick? Gongju suddenly remembered. Bo Ibai glanced at the camera, thinking hard. I don't know if we can mention it. Gongju blurted out, another vulgar cry. The cameraman was the first to burst out laughing. Bo Ibai's handsome face showed a complex expression, his gaze dark. Those 2 trending topics. Whose fault was it? Gongju asked, puzzled, pointing to her innocent-looking head. It's my. The word after horse went silent. Bo Ibai sighed helplessly, enunciating particularly forcefully. My fault. The audience was amused by this couple. Haha, they couldn't get past the vulgar joke. When these 2 meet, one must get hurt. Why is it always Bo Ibai who gets hurt? Bo Ibai himself isn't funny, but becomes hilarious when meeting Gongju. Why is that? Bo Ibai took out his items. It turned out to be a tang sword, about 1 meter long and 2 fingers wide. Taking it from his hands, Gongju pulled the sword from its sheath, her eyes lighting up. It's a good sword, but why isn't it sharpened? She was a bit disappointed. Bo Ibai smiled. It's for practice. What about the other item? Bo Ibai opened a small box containing some throwing darts. These are sharpened. Also for practice, Bo Ibai hummed in response. Then, seeing Gongju's attachment to the tang sword, you like swords? Gongju nodded. Yes, but it's a pity it's not sharpened. The cameraman was curious. Isn't this a katana, Teacher Gong? No, it's not. The blade is straight, and the tip is square. Gongju shook her head. Katanas have a curve and sharp tips. They're different. The audience had an enlightening moment, learning something new. I also thought it was a Japanese katana and was confused. But Bogod with his tang sword and darts, is he preparing for his next role? Is it a movie or TV drama? Gongju was still disappointed about the unsharpened tang sword. The material is really good. Let's take the darts. Never mind about the unsharpened sword. Let's head up the mountain. The 2 headed straight up the mountain. Though the path was difficult, it posed no challenge to Gongju and Bo Ibai, who walked as if on flat ground. The cameraman, however, was panting heavily. Following them was extremely difficult, gasping for air and calling for them to slow down. really unable to climb anymore. Your physical condition really isn't good. Gongju shook her head. You clearly rarely exercise. The altitude here isn't low. You probably can't handle it. Boibai also mused. Indeed, it's holding us back. The cameraman felt hurt by both stars' comments. Other guests just walk around the village. Not like you two wanting to conquer this huge mountain. Give me the GoPro, Gongju said. You wait at the bottom. Gongju fully agreed. Bo's suggestion is good. With you following, we're too slow. We have to accommodate your pace. The cameraman was struck by this and determined to become a strong man after finishing this episode. Boibai took the GoPro, and together with Gongju, they resumed their journey. After getting rid of the burden, their speed increased significantly. In the frame, Gongju pushed off with her long arms and vaulted over a huge fallen tree trunk. Her long legs seemed spring-loaded, displaying a graceful and valiant figure full of power and wildness. That moment when she looked back, she seemed to merge with nature, like a goddess of nature descending. Her eyes were both alluring and fresh. Boibai suddenly stood still, stunned. The woman was truly beautiful at this moment. Gongju waved at the man. Hey, why did you stop? She extended her hand to the dazed man. The slope ahead is quite steep. If you're afraid of falling, I can hold your hand. Gongju's words made Boibai fall silent. He had become the pretty boy. The audience was dying of laughter. Doesn't Bo care about his dignity? Unexpectedly, Boibai looked at her extended hand without anger and took it without hesitation. Then Teacher Gong must hold me tight. Don't worry, I won't let you fall. Gongju squeezed his hand. So soft, she mumbled quietly. Such delicate skin. Boibai raised an eyebrow. The audience burst into laughter. Was Bogod being looked down upon? To be fair, Bogod has a great physique. Six-pack abs, slim waist, broad shoulders, perfect bottom, and muscle lines. He has it all. I don't believe it unless Bogod shows us. As they went deeper into the mountain, Gongju finally stopped. Ahead was a dense bamboo forest, with bamboo shoots sprouting everywhere on the ground. Just as I expected. She turned to Boibai. Let's get to work, Teacher Bo. After speaking, Gongju started moving, finding a sprouting bamboo shoot and using her tool. Boibai didn't slack off either. In no time, they filled a large basket. Gongju also gathered some wood-ear mushrooms, morels, and wild fruits from the nearby woods. Still missing something, Gongju muttered. Then she opened the box of darts. She went back into the woods, but not before reminding Boibai. Wait here, don't move around. Half an hour later, Gongju returned with a bountiful harvest. In the live stream, everyone fell silent seeing her with 3 rabbits in her left hand and 2 chickens in her right. Now I know what she needed the darts for. If the cameraman wasn't in such poor shape, I would have suspected these were planted beforehand. Gongju skillfully tied up the rabbits and wild chickens. Boibai watched her practiced movements, realizing he couldn't help. He couldn't help but smile. Feels like we're in a wellness show. Yes, it is quite healthy, Gongju nodded. Fresh ingredients, good mountain air, no pollution, she said while shouldering the full basket of ingredients. Boibai reached for the basket. Let me carry it. No, Gongju shook her head with a perfect mischievous expression. Though Teacher Bo has good arm strength, your lower body seems unstable. If you fall, I'll have to carry you down. Whose lower body is unstable? If the camera could capture it, everyone would have seen how stiff the famous actor's smile had become. The next moment, the GoPro turned, and everyone saw the man's handsome but cold, unapproachable expression. Boibai handed the GoPro to Gongju. He picked up his basket of spoils and strode away. Gongju stood there stunned, scratching her head and mumbling, "Did I say something wrong? Seems like I offended him." The audience laughed hysterically again. "Ha ha ha, yes, you offended Bogod. You can't tell a man his lower body is unstable. Please grow some awareness." When Boibai and Gongju returned with their harvest, not just Sang Tian and the children, but even the staff were amazed. The director wiped sweat from his forehead, muttering, "Gongju must be a bug. Well, at least the guests won't go hungry now." But Wei Anren and son Xiao Xiao haven't returned yet. Let's divide the cooking work first. Gongju was good at everything, especially eating, but cooking? Sorry, she was terrible. As for Sang Tian, she also became one of the children waiting for food. The kitchen had become the domain of 2 men. I have no problem with cooking, but these rabbits and chickens, Jiang Yunsheng was hesitant about killing them. You should be able to do it, right? He looked at Boibai. Boibai coldly responded with a his whole body emanating frost. Sang Tian quietly pulled Gongju aside. She asked, "What happened to Teacher Bo? Did you bully him on the mountain?" That's impossible. Gongjia was puzzled. I practically carried him in my hands, just short of putting him in my mouth. Sang Tian suddenly shuddered, looking at her in horror. My goodness, that's way too explicit. What exactly did you two do up there? Bo Ibai's lips twitched imperceptibly, his ears turning red. Zhang Yun's hand slipped, almost letting the chicken escape. Everyone turned to stare at Gongjio, who wore only innocent confusion on her face. Bo Ibai took the struggling wild chicken and turned to leave with an icy expression. I'll go bleed it. Sang Tian shivered, covering her neck. Why do I feel like Teacher Bo said that specifically to me? Zhang Yunsheng sighed deeply. This country road isn't suitable for driving. Gongjio, with her basket full of ingredients, had already gotten the men to start preparing lunch. Just as lunch was served, unexpected guests arrived, Sun Xiaoxiao and Wei Anren. They stood empty-handed, looking at the table full of dishes, their stomachs rebelling furiously. They had hit dead ends all afternoon, unable to get even a leaf of vegetable. They hurriedly explained, I saw that the villagers barely had enough to eat themselves, so I didn't feel right asking them for anything. What timing? Sang Tian muttered under her breath. Idiot. The voice was just loud enough for Sun Xiaoxiao to hear. She could only temporarily suppress her anger. After 2 days of feeling slighted and disrespected, Wei Anren momentarily lost his composure. He strode forward and grabbed little Wang Xian, who was distributing chopsticks. He announced loudly, Xian, it's late. We should go home. Wang Xian looked surprised, reluctantly eyeing the abundant dinner. The man pulled Wang Xian away without further explanation. Seeing this, Sang Tian's temper flared. She almost screamed, Wang Xian hasn't eaten dinner yet. That's our business, Wei Anren shouted back. Looking down at Wang Xian, he said, we have leftover food at home, remember? Didn't you say we shouldn't waste food? I'm only 6 years old. Wang Xian was speechless. She knew they shouldn't waste food, but tonight's dinner looked so abundant. The little girl felt wronged and reluctant, unable to explain herself. Sang Tian suppressed her displeasure, trying to save face for the man. Teacher son, we invited Wang Xian to stay for dinner. They're all children from the same village. What's wrong with eating together? But these words took on a different meaning in Wei Anren's ears. Only inviting the child and not us. You're openly excluding us, aren't you? I'm talking to my child. Why are you butting in? Wei Anren's voice was particularly frightening. Wang Xian burst into tears with a wah. Wei Anren was also triggered by the crying. Why are you crying? I wasn't talking to you. Wei Anren, are you crazy? How dare you talk to a child like that? Sang Tian stepped forward to pull Wang Xian away, but the man wouldn't let go. The livestream audience was furious. Does Wei Anren forget he's on livestream? His true nature is showing. This kind of person would definitely owe Gongju money and not pay it back. Sun Xiaoxiao stood dumbfounded. What was wrong with this man? He wasn't even trying to act proper on camera, breaking down so easily. Let go. Gongju stepped forward and grabbed the man's hand. She stared at him coldly and warned quietly, don't make me use force in front of everyone. Wei Anren let go but wasn't finished. He shouted at Gongjio, go ahead, hit me if you dare. Sang Tian quickly hugged the tearful Wang Xian, yelling at Wei Anren, don't go too far. Jiang, Sang Tian, take the children inside first. Gongjio suppressed her emotions, speaking calmly. Zhang Yunxing nodded, and Sang Tian left with the children. Before leaving, she shot a disgusted look at the man. Seeing this, Sun Xiaoxiao didn't want to get involved in Wei Anren's affairs. She tactfully took little Wang Xian's hand, saying, let me. Zhang Yunsheng, supporting Wang Xian's back, said thanks. After they all left, Gongju said, want to continue the performance? Wei Anren finally realized he'd lost his composure. He put on a pained expression. It hurts. Let go. You're about to break my hand. Gongju smiled. You're acting so convincingly, I'd feel bad not playing along. When she suddenly applied force, the pain shot straight to the man's head. My hand's broken. This scream was much more genuine. The production team was frightened. Wei Anren clutched his wrist, his expression twisted with tears welling up. Gongjio had indeed broken it, then in the blink of an eye, used her ability to heal it. Though the wrist was healed, the pain lingered in the man's muscle memory. His screams now were real. Gong Ju released his hand and stepped back. Now that scream sounds more authentic. The man continued wailing, clutching his right wrist while his right hand hung limply, appearing truly broken. The staff finally realized the severity and called for a doctor. The scene was chaotic, yet Gong Ju remained calm as a mountain, wearing a faint smile. It might take a while for the doctor to arrive. Should I heal your hand again? Gong Jiu stepped forward with the intensity of a fierce beast about to devour its prey. What are you going to do? Wei Anren trembled in fear as Gong Jiu's fist was ready to strike. The next moment, she swung at Wei Anren's face. Almost instinctively, the man raised both hands to block, both hands waving frantically in front. The scene suddenly went quiet. Gong Jiu smirked contemptuously. Wasn't your hand broken? How can you wave it around? The man stared at his wrist in disbelief. Initially, he was faking, but when Gong Jiu suddenly applied force, he had nearly passed out from pain. The livestream audience was furious. So Wei Anren was trying to frame our Gong Wuhong? Seeing everyone's suspicious looks, Wei Anren truly broke down. I'm not lying. She really used force. She almost broke my wrist just now. Gong Jiu asked, really? Then I must be amazing. I squeezed your wrist so hard, yet there's not even a red mark. Indeed, Wei Anren's hand showed no signs of injury. Gong Jiu suddenly clapped her hands. I got it. I must have the legendary soul attack. I accidentally hurt your soul just now. Someone burst out laughing first. Bo Ibai coughed, eyes twinkling with amusement. In modern society, we can't engage in superstition. Teacher Bo is right, Gong Jiu nodded, looking more confused. Then how did I break the hand? Maybe through brain waves? Bo Ibai raised an eyebrow. Modern science has made great leaps. Gong Jiu suddenly looked scared. Oh no, will I be captured for dissection research? Not likely. This is a society of human rights. The two continued their academic discussion, ignoring others. Low on damage, high on insult. The fans who watched this excellent scam performance were thoroughly impressed. Only Wei Anren knew he had become the clown. I just want to say, Bo and Gong must have taken all the bamboo shoots on the mountain. Unexpectedly, this young man publicly bullied children. Gong Jiu, the martial expert, naturally confronted him directly. She could crush his wrist barehanded, then instantly heal it. Though his hand hurt like being stabbed by needles, there were no marks on it. At this point, Wei Anren had to continue the act even if reluctantly. The doctor finished examining his wrist. What kind of pain is it? He asked, puzzled. It just hurts, like it's broken, Wei Anren said with an agonized expression. The doctor was silent for a moment. It's definitely not broken, though there might be a sprain or joint contusion. Sang Tian suddenly asked the doctor, could this wrist injury be caused by someone squeezing it with bare hands? The doctor smiled. It's possible. If the person knows 9-in white bone claw or joint-breaking techniques, the hand should be fine. Sang Tian suddenly bowed to Gong Jiu. Sister Jiu, you're a martial arts master. Gong Jiu waved it off. Too bad there's no Jianghu nowadays. Otherwise I could compete for the martial arts leadership. The doctor, unaware of the context, couldn't help but laugh. He joked, if that were true, the hand would be swollen like a bun. Looking at Wei Anren, he added, but your bone-breaking pain might be rheumatism. I suggest getting a CT scan if you're worried. Wei Anren's face turned almost blue. He pulled his hand back and snapped, are you even a real doctor? Do you have a license? Turning to the cameramen who were still filming, he shouted with a dark face, stop filming. This is humiliating enough. The audience cheered, just leave already. One bad apple is ruining the whole show. Though some diehard fans insisted, Gong Julian and others are bullying Brother Ran. All their fans turned against them. After the man left, everyone could finally eat in peace. No one tried to make Wei Anren stay. Sun Xiaoxiao was relieved he hadn't directly confronted Gong Jiu. He didn't directly clash with Gong Jiu. Zhang Yunsheng suddenly asked, I heard he owes you money. 10 million isn't a small amount. Did you get an IOU? No, Gong Jiu replied indifferently, focused on the chicken feet in her mouth. Bo Ibai looked at her with deep, thoughtful eyes. You must have been good friends then. Gong Jiu looked up. Maybe, but definitely not a CP. I can tell. Zhang Yunsheng nodded with a smile. You wouldn't like guys with that personality. Disloyal, Sang Tian said confidently. My sister can handle both men and women with her strength. How could she like weak men? Turn gay? Gong Jiu asked confused. Who did I turn gay? As Sang Tian was about to volunteer, She met Bo's stern gaze and shuddered. She blurted out, "The internet fans." Bo finally relaxed. Zhang Yunsheng looked at Bo Yibai, his smile deepening. Continuing the topic, Sang Tian has a point. "So what's your ideal type, Xiaojiu?" Gongjiu wondered how the conversation had suddenly turned to her dating preferences, especially with 6 pairs of curious eyes on her. Only Sun Xiaoxiao looked uncomfortable, secretly glancing at Jiang Yunsheng. He called her Gongjiu. After finishing her chicken feet and clearing the last bit of meat, Gongjiu thought seriously. Actually, weak men aren't completely out of the question. Bo Yibai's expression became slightly peculiar. Gongjiu licked her lips, imagining carefully. As long as they can cook, preferably a chef, the livestream viewers couldn't sit still. "I've decided. I'm going to New Oriental to learn cooking. Wait for me to return and marry you." Oh no. Just then, Bo Yibai gave her a large piece of meat. "How's tonight's dinner?" Gongju nodded firmly. "Very good." Bo Yibai smiled contentedly. "I made it." Everyone had an expression of watching drama unfold. Is this about to become a bloodbath? They gave thumbs up. Opening a restaurant? I'll invest. Sang Tian raised her hand. "Count me in." Jiang Yunsheng smiled meaningfully. "Can I join too?" Bo Yibai was speechless, with an expression that said, "What's it got to do with you all?" After asking Gongjia, Jiang Yunsheng turned to Sang Tian. "What's your ideal type?" Sang Tian felt shy. "I haven't thought about it. I'm not sure what kind of guy I like. I see you get along well with my Ruais. We're not close at all." Hearing that man's name, Sang Tian felt annoyed. How could she like such an immature, bad-tempered guy? Jiang Yunsheng felt a bit disappointed. "Looks like little brother needs to try harder." Suddenly Sun Xiaoxiao leaned in. "I wonder what kind of girls Jiang likes." Jiang Yunsheng stammered without answering. He casually watched Gongju eating chicken legs, oil around her mouth. He gently reminded her about the food residue on her mouth. Sun Xiaoxiao felt disappointed. Could it be that he likes Gongju? Is that why he was so dismissive at this moment? A delicate and gentle hand brushed across Gongju's cheek. Another hand carefully wiped the woman's lips, saying softly, "Eat slowly, no one's fighting you for it." Gongju froze. Seeing this ambiguous moment, Sang Tian got extremely excited. She shipped the Baiju CP again. Afterward, they acted as if nothing happened and started clearing the dishes. Sang Tian asked Gongjiu, "How did it feel when Bo wiped your mouth?" Only Sun Xiaoxiao seemed dejected, absent-mindedly clearing the table. Unexpectedly, she got pricked by a splinter. The heartache and pain burst forth instantly, and Jiang Yunsheng saw this scene clearly. Though she wasn't as naive and cute as before, more worldly now, she was still that little girl who needed protection. Here we go. The Baijiu couple is about to show their affection again. Because there was no bathroom in the village, in the evening, Gongju took a basin and went out. She hadn't bathed for 2 days. Today she had been digging bamboo shoots and hunting in the mountains, and had worked up a sweat. Fortunately, there was a small waterfall outside the village. The water came from the mountain and was very clean. She went there under cover of darkness. She looked around to make sure there were no insomniacs wandering about late at night. Quickly stripped herself clean. She went straight into the water, took a deep breath, and submerged. It was very quiet underwater. The impact sounds on her abdomen were blocked out. Gongjiu held her breath underwater, unable to see anything in the pitch darkness. Just as she was about to swim forward, she seemed to touch something. It felt like a stick. Just as Gongjiu was about to open her eyes, a hand came from above, broke through the water surface, grabbed her neck, and pulled her up. Gongjiu reflexively made a knife hand strike at the person, but her wrist was suddenly locked. She crashed directly into the person's embrace. The fierce light in her eyes suddenly turned docile like a small animal when she recognized the face before her. Both became too embarrassed to make a sound. The cold moonlight fell, making Gongju the same color as the moonlight. Her wet hair draped like silk behind her head, revealing a clean forehead and alluring features. Being stunned, her red lips parted slightly. Bo Yibai's pupils suddenly contracted, watching the man's face visibly turn red. Gongju didn't think much. After brief confusion, she calmly probed, "You're bathing too? What a coincidence." Bo Yibai came to his senses and quickly released her. As she turned around and saw his reddened ears, as if possessed, she reached out and touched them. They actually turned even redder at her touch. The man's back instantly tensed up. Gongju wanted to slap herself on the forehead. She had forgotten that nowadays, casually touching men was also a crime. Then she saw the man firmly grasp her hand before she could withdraw it. In his pitch-black pupils, there seemed to be a cold flame that could burn someone to ashes. His lips were tightly pressed. She could roughly predict what sharp words would come next. She didn't want to give him the chance. If I'm guilty, let the law punish me. Boibai's lips twitched imperceptibly. He stared at her intensely and said, "Tell me, what crime did you commit?" Gongju looked at his crime-inducing face, her gaze unconsciously moving downward. "Maybe this isn't the right time to discuss law." "Oh, so you know it's inappropriate?" Boibai said through gritted teeth, about to speak. Then they realized something was wrong. If anyone discovered a man and woman bathing naked together by the waterfall, there would be no way to explain it. "Get in the water," Boibai said quickly. Gongju didn't hesitate and submerged immediately, swimming towards the back of the waterfall. During the underwater swim, she didn't know what her hands had touched. After all, she was too close to Boibai. She vaguely felt the man's body stiffen again. He seemed to lose his breath and released a bubble. Gongju instinctively thought, if he accidentally choked to death, she would be the prime suspect. Without thinking, she grabbed Boibai and quickly swam towards the back of the waterfall. Behind the water curtain formed by the waterfall, there was a concave cave where they could hide. Just as Gongju surfaced, before she could catch her breath, she heard the man's gritted teeth. "Can you let go now?" Underwater earlier, she hadn't noticed what exactly she was grabbing, just that it felt convenient to hold. Now, unfortunately, she unconsciously gripped it tighter. The man's breathing instantly stopped as he glared at her. Gongju's mind suddenly went blank, then erupted in chaos. She understood everything now. She immediately withdrew her guilty hand, internally panicking but maintaining a calm exterior. She had to stay composed. As she had escalated from flirting to harassment, she took a deep breath, raised her right hand to prove her innocence. "Teacher Bo, I can explain." From the inexplicable ear touching, to touching that unspeakable part underwater. From flirting to harassment, she had committed crime upon crime. In the darkness, the man's eyes contained a fierce fire. Though they were in cold water, Gongju felt like she was burning up. She instinctively tried to back away, but saw the man reach out an arm, locking her waist, pulling her into his powerful embrace. Gongju quickly pleaded, "Teacher Bo, stay calm. Murder is illegal." The man's brows suddenly furrowed as he looked toward the riverbank. The darkness didn't affect Gongju's vision. She looked up and vaguely saw Boibai put a finger to his lips in a hushing gesture. That lip shape seemed to strike Gongju's heart. A thought crossed her mind, "That's quite seductive." The next moment, the man's gritted voice sounded again. "I'll settle accounts with you later." Gongju's worldly thoughts were instantly extinguished. Her mind became as pure as a monk's. Even though they were naked and embracing face to face, she couldn't let her mind wander. If she did, she'd really end up behind bars. Two heads popped up by the riverbank. Looking at their posture, these kids had come to catch fish in the middle of the night. "Brothers and sisters, let us eat all the meat today. We'll try to catch more fish and crabs," the two kids mumbled. Gongju's lips curved up involuntarily. They were such warm-hearted kids. Though the waterfall's impact was loud, she could still hear them with her special ability. The man's breath lingered pleasantly by her ear, his deep voice and clear pronunciation. Feeling like she might be devoured by the man at any moment, Gongju's smile froze. "No way, it's so dark. How can this man see me smiling? Does he have titanium dog eyes?" Gongju suppressed her smile. "That's impossible. I was sincerely repenting." "Repenting what?" "Repenting for defiling a deity." Gongju inexplicably recalled what Sister Lan had said before. Boibai was somewhat speechless. Sometimes he really wanted to crack open her head and see what was inside. If Gongju had looked up, she would have seen the shy mockery on the man's face, his eyes showing helplessness and frustration. "Is that so? Just repenting is enough?" Gongju indeed felt deeply guilty. She swallowed and said softly, "How about, I apologize to you publicly?" She quickly added, "A written apology would work too." Boibai's mouth twitched again. "A written apology? About how you accidentally assaulted someone underwater?" By the waterfall, little Li Jun leaned on a wooden stick, walking rather slowly, shouting the names of two other children. Gongju heard the shout, and her expression changed slightly. "Don't these kids need to sleep at night?" Little Li Jun pushed through the tall grass while the two children were still catching fish by the water. Little Lee Jun's peripheral vision caught sight of clothes and a water basin not far from his feet. He suddenly froze. He remembered these clothes were what Sister Gongju wore during the day, and on the other bank, there was another set of clothes. Those clothes were clearly Min's. Little Lee Jun's face changed drastically. He panicked instantly, afraid others would discover them. He used his stick to pick up the nearby clothes and threw them far away, quickly destroying the evidence. He anxiously called out, "Ouch! My stomach suddenly hurts so bad. Let's go back quickly. It's killing me. I can't walk fast with this stick. Come help me." They couldn't continue fishing anymore. Carrying their empty bamboo baskets, they ran to support Little Lee Jun on both sides. After the three children left, the two people behind the water curtain were still naked facing each other. Gongjio whispered, "They seem to have left." Boibai pressed his lips tightly and said quickly, "You go out first and get dressed." Gongju pointed at the hand on her waist, slightly speechless. "Shouldn't you let go of me first?" Boibai quickly withdrew his hand and turned his back completely. After feeling the woman leave the water curtain, Boibai let out a long breath. His eyes were full of shame, anger, and frustration. He looked down at the water surface below. This was truly unprecedented. All his calmness and self-control seemed to have failed. Gongjio was unaware of all this. After she swam back to shore, she was dumbfounded. Was it moral decay or the destruction of humanity? Where were her clothes? Just as Boibai came out of the water and wiped his face, he opened his eyes to meet an embarrassed face. Their eyes met as moonlight fell on the water, illuminating them both. The woman softly said, "My clothes are gone." Was it moral decay or the extinction of humanity? Gongjio, who had just reached the shore, discovered her clothes were missing. They stood there looking at each other, the silver moonlight illuminating their awkward faces. Boibai didn't mean to laugh, but it was the first time he'd seen such an embarrassed expression on the woman's face. The contrast with her usual extremely arrogant, everything under control demeanor was too stark. His tightly pressed lips curved up uncontrollably, and he covered his mouth, letting out a laugh. "At least you're not missing." Gongju sank slightly lower in the water and said quietly, "Teacher Bo, this isn't the time for jokes." Boibai cleared his throat and looked toward where he had left his clothes. Seeing they were still there, "Turn around. My clothes are over there. You wear them first. We have no other choice now." Gongjio didn't object. The man obediently walked to the shore. He picked up Boibai's clothes and put them on. The man was 1.9 meters tall, and the hoodie reached his thighs. If he was careful, normal walking wouldn't expose anything. As for the pants, they wouldn't fit him even if he tried to wear them. The clothes had a faint fragrance, not perfume, just the simple scent of laundry detergent, but it was very comfortable and pleasant. Gongju looked back and saw the man still facing away from him. He quickly changed. When he finished, Boibai finally turned around. The moonlight on the shore illuminated the woman's loose long hair. The oversized hoodie draped over her body revealed glimpses of skin underneath. She had no bottom wear. Her long, straight jade-like feet were exposed. The scene was somewhat suggestive. Gongjo turned and walked some distance away. "Teacher Bo, you should put on your pants too." A moment later, Boibai put on his pants. Gongjio turned back, and their eyes met again. One without pants, one with only pants. More than awkward, it was embarrassing. Nobody knew who laughed first. Though sharing one set of clothes between two people was funny, as they laughed, Gongjio's smile faded. That was his only set of clothes. What would happen when the production team found out? Boibai gave him a meaningful look. "Karma comes late," Gongju responded irritably. "Teacher Bo still has the mood for internal strife. Remember your written self-criticism." Gongju's smile dimmed further. "Man, your name is pettiness. Let's go back to sleep." Boibai pulled up the hoodie's hood, covering his head, naturally patting it in one smooth motion. Gongju's eyes widened round. The hood's brim just covered his eyebrows, making his small face look tiny. "Are you treating me like a puppy?" Boibai's smile instantly vanished as he pretended nothing happened. The hoodie was loose and baggy, and from his height advantage, a glance revealed a glimpse of spring scenery. He quickly averted his gaze and took a deep breath. Under Gongju's shocked stare, that extremely handsome and slightly reddened face became deadly serious. He suddenly reached out, grabbed both sides of the hoodie's collar, and with a swoosh, pulled it tight and quickly tied a knot, sealing all possible glimpses beneath the fabric. Suddenly everything went dark. Gongjio, with only his nose exposed, felt like a frozen emoticon. After great effort to untie it, Gongjio was speechless. Teacher Bo, let me emphasize again. Murder is illegal. After speaking, he went to look for his clothes. Just as he was about to enter the grass, Bo Ibai held him back. Go back first. It's too cold at night. You'll catch a cold. Gongjio defended himself. It's impossible for my body to catch a cold. But looking at Bo Ibai's bare upper body, he hesitated for a moment. It was indeed difficult to search in the dark. He could come back when dawn approached. As long as he found the clothes before the production team discovered them, it would be fine. They walked back together in silence. Bo Ibai left after escorting him back to the earthen house. Tonight was almost deadly. Gongjio tiptoed in, lifting the door curtain. How did his clothes just disappear? Gongjio looked at the seemingly sleeping little Li Jun across the room and rubbed his forehead in frustration. About an hour later, he heard footsteps outside. The man's breathing was slightly heavy, but his deep eyes remained dignified as Gongjio asked. His gaze fell on the clothes in his hands. Teacher Bo, you went back to find my clothes? The underwater assault incident, the mysteriously disappearing clothes, and the scene of two people sharing one set of clothes had almost been the death of Gongjio. The man's clothes wrapped tightly around his body, dry and comfortable. Footsteps came from outside. Teacher Bo went back to find my clothes. Bo Ibai gave a slight and handed him the clothes. The clothes were dirty and probably unwearable now. Bo Ibai handed over another set of clean clothes. Though the style wasn't clear in the dark, it was obviously women's clothing. Gongjio was surprised. In this late night in an old village, where did he find clean clothes? Seeing him still shirtless, Gongjio didn't hesitate and went back to change clothes. Wait, Bo Ibai suddenly grabbed him and pulled him toward the corner. He whispered, better change here. Gongjio realized something. He hadn't noticed before how thoughtful this man was. There was no cover in the earthen house. If he changed clothes there, he'd have to do it in front of little Li Jun. That wouldn't be appropriate, especially since the kid seemed to be awake. Bo Ibai turned around, his tall figure like a strong wall blocking the moonlight, giving an inexplicable sense of reliability. Gongjio quickly changed into the clothes. Thank you. You're welcome. The deep male voice above his head sounded quite pleasant. As he looked up, the man's hand gently landed on his head, softly stroking. Good that your hair is dry. Gongjio blinked and unconsciously touched his hair. It did dry quite quickly. Thank you, Teacher Bo. As expected of a good comrade who shared life and death experiences. Just as Gongjio was feeling touched, the man seemed to remember something. He gave him a meaningful look and said, written self-criticism. Remember to submit it to me tomorrow. After speaking, he left. His lips curved upward, joy evident on his face, leaving Gongjio standing there dumbfounded. Standing there with his mouth open involuntarily. Men really were grudge-holding creatures. Looking at his right hand, remembering it was the source of evil, he couldn't help but slap the back of his hand twice. One mistake really did lead to eternal regret. Early the next morning, when Gongjio appeared, everyone's eyes were dazzled. Teacher Gong, what rural fashion style is this? Red and green together is horrible. Absolutely amazing. Yet Gongjio walked with confident steps. Wearing cotton floral shirt and pants, he was clearly the most stylish person in the village. Ha ha ha, sister. Did you wrap yourself in my grandmother's floral bedsheet? Sang Tian almost jumped over laughing. Zhang Yunsheng couldn't help but ask where he got these clothes. Gongjio, completely unaware of how funny he looked, raised an eyebrow, still maintaining his cool demeanor. My clothes got dirty. Borrowed these from someone. When he saw these clothes clearly in the morning, he figured Bo Ibai must have borrowed them from an old village woman last night. A perfectly good movie star, with such a delectable appearance, half-naked asking old ladies for clothes in the middle of the night. Who knows if he scared anyone? During mealtime, Sang Tian kept touching Gongjio's new clothes. Who did you borrow these from? Take me to borrow some too. I'm getting stale. Gongjio, focused only on food, casually answered, from Grandma Lu in the West Village. This was the only set. Hearing this, little Yunduo said innocently while nibbling. I remember these clothes belonged to Grandma Wang at the village entrance. I saw her wearing them last week. I must have remembered wrong. It was dark, lost my sense of direction, Gongjio answered shamelessly. Her eyes glanced toward the unusually quiet Bo Ibai. She noticed something else. Bo Ibai's wrist and hand had several red scratches. These were from searching for Gongjio's clothes in the bushes yesterday. Got hurt while cooking yesterday, the man said calmly. Sang Tian doubted again. That's not right. I clearly saw no injuries during dinner last night. At this moment, little Yunduo innocently chimed in. Did Uncle Ibai go crawling through bushes? My hand got cut by grass leaves like that too. The two were instantly speechless. Someone needed to shut these two elementary schoolers' mouths. Subsequently, they both simultaneously used food to silence these two chatterboxes. Little Li Jun quickly glanced at Gongjio and Bo Ibai, then immediately lowered his head. Fortunately, no one else noticed his reaction. In the live stream, fans were already exploding with laughter. At this moment, Wei Anren walked in alone. Sang Tian's expression suddenly changed as she looked toward the courtyard gate. No way, he hasn't left? Heard the director spent half the night persuading him, and there's a 90% chance he'll quit the show. Everyone watched as Wei Anren walked straight to Gongjio and sincerely bowed his head. About yesterday, I'm truly sorry and apologize to you. At these words, even Sang Tian was shocked, kept looking at the camera thinking it wasn't rolling. Gongjio took a sip of porridge, calmly finished chewing his food, didn't even look up, wouldn't even spare a glance, with a strangers keep away expression. So would Gongjio forgive Wei Anren? Floral shirt, red cotton jacket, black stockings, cool legs, sister, don't laugh. Gongjio's outfit was clearly at the forefront of fashion, making Sang Tian cry with envy. At this time, Wei Anren walked in looking pitiful. He had hoped to salvage his image by apologizing on live stream, but Gongjio didn't even want to acknowledge him, wouldn't even look at him. Don't talk to me, I'm eating, I'm a germaphobe. On live broadcast, Sang Tian almost spat out her mouthful of food. Too direct, Sang Tian gently bumped Gongjio, signaling with her eyes, we're live, be more subtle, don't give haters any opportunities. Gongjio winked back, don't worry, I'm not. Can't let every dog chase after my bones. Of course, this was implying those keyboard warriors. The live stream chat exploded. Cold-blooded attack god. Well done. Attackgio. Why so arrogant? He already apologized. What more do you want? Acting like such a big shot. Regarding Wei Anren's humility, Attackgio couldn't be bothered to respond, just kept eating his meal. Seeing this, the man had to change targets and looked at Bo Ibai. Bo Ibai also ignored him, turned to Gongjio instead. There's still some porridge, eat more? Perfect, I'm not full yet. Gongjio directly handed over his bowl. Bo Ibai got up to get porridge. Wei Anren stood behind him. Without looking up, he coldly said, excuse me. Wei Anren was furious inside. So you're all ganging up against me? He had already humbled himself so much, yet they still wouldn't accept him. So he ran out recklessly, shouting, I quit this stupid show. Sun Xiaoxiao walked in at this moment, confused about what was happening. Wasn't he here to apologize? Why is he quitting the show again? Teacher Gong. The director quietly beckoned from off camera. Teacher Gong, about yesterday's incident, could you let it go? The show just started. Losing a guest now wouldn't look good. The director's tone was gentle, clearly trying to appeal to emotions. Gongjio wondered, since when could I decide if guests stay or go? Director, aren't you overestimating me? The director then looked at Bo Ibai. Please help persuade him. I'll follow Gongjio's decision. The director was speechless, surprised by how protective Bo Ibai was of Gongjio. What could the production team do? If Wei Anren wants to leave, that's his business. They couldn't control others' actions. Gongjio looked at the director, his smile becoming meaningful. Actually, I think yesterday's incident, fundamentally, the production team bears a large responsibility. The director's breath hitched, unconsciously stepping back, staying alert. For the sake of guest unity, for maintaining our show's positive values, don't you think the production team should? He lifted his chin, raised his right hand, rubbed his thumb and index finger together craftily. The director wanted to cry, thinking why did they invite this troublemaker? Soon Gongjio reappeared on live stream, holding up several red and green bills. Sang Tian's eyes lit up. Sister, did you rob the production team? No, no, no. Gongjio shook his head. The production team had a conscience, felt our conflicts were due to strict rules. This is compensation. Jiang Yunsheng was also delighted. However, looking at the amount of money, it was quite intriguing. 250 isn't bad. When we run out, we'll just repeat our trick, have another fight. Teacher Sun, future performances are up to you. Keep up your exaggerated acting. Next time add more tears. Sun Xiaoxiao felt extremely conflicted inside. Gongjio, you're using me as a money-making tool. Who's exaggerating? The director rolled his eyes rudely. I've never seen a female celebrity act like such a bandit before. He quickly added, this is a one-time thing, no next time. Bo Ibai gave Gongjio a meaningful smile. Next time we'll try a different approach. I'll help you. The Baiju CP fans were truly in love with this. Only the production team and other fans were full of questions. Bo God, what's wrong with you? Bo God, wake up. The next day was free time, with no arrangements from the production team. The urgent matter was to address the shortage of basic necessities and the children's living conditions. For shopping, they had to go to the nearest county town. They needed to go down the mountain first, then take a minibus, about 20 minutes away. Everyone agreed to let the children come along to broaden their horizons. As they say, going up is easy, but coming down is hard. Sang Tian, Jiang Yunsheng, and Sun Xiaoxiao clearly rarely exercised, nearly dying just getting down the mountain. The children who usually take this route to school walked as if on flat ground. Only Gongjiu and Bo Yibai were completely unaffected, walking briskly. Sang Tian, catching her breath, looked ahead and became even more dejected. I can accept being worse than Sister Jiu and Teacher Bo, but even Li Jun is better than me? Gongjiu pulled her up from the ground. Even 80-year-old village grannies walk this way. You're worse than both old and young. Sang Tian's bitter face. I'm on your side. Come on, sis. Can you stop attacking everyone indiscriminately? Nearby, Jiang Yunsheng and Sun Xiaoxiao felt targeted too. Gongjiu calmly said, otherwise, how would you experience a different way of life? Somehow, Sang Tian and the others felt a lump in their throats, while the children's faces were full of joy about going to town. Sang Tian lowered her head and whispered, after the show ends, let's pay to fix this mountain road. Soon, the minibus to the county town arrived. The first problem arose when Gongjiu, who was paying, discovered she had to pay for the camera crew's tickets too. Only 30 yuan remained in the activity fund. Don't look so gloomy. When money's gone, we'll earn more. The guests were puzzled. Do you know what little Gio is going to do? Jiang Yunxing asked Bo Yibai. The latter shook his head with a faint smile. Don't know, just follow her. You trust her unusually much. Jiang Yunsheng gave him a meaningful look. Bo Yibai kept staring at the figure ahead, saying casually, because she's smarter and more capable than all of you. Jiang Yunsheng protested, I cooked yesterday. Yeah, rice in a rice cooker. The audience was speechless. Was Bo God always this savage? When they arrived, they saw an outdoor obstacle course set up in the open park. Gongju pointed and said, if we win first place, we'll have money. A movie star and a famous actress on a variety show actually came to do outdoor challenges for extra money. The key point, first prize is 10,000 yuan. Sang Tian excitedly grabbed Gongji's hands. Sister Jiu, quick, go sign up. First place is definitely ours. With 10,000, we won't worry about food and clothes for the next few days. But Sun Xiaoxiao pointed to a distance. The rules on that electronic screen say it has to be family units. Individuals aren't allowed. That means at least 2 people. What's there to worry about? We have Teacher Bo. Sang Tian naturally volunteered Bo Yibai. Any problem? Teacher Bo? No problem. But Gongjiu frowned. You can't. Everyone held back their laughter. So, not good at walking became can't do anything now? Bo Yibai turned his head slightly, eyes flickering, his handsome profile gaining an intimidating air. How am I not capable? Facing his darkened expression, Gongjiu said seriously, you have a cold. The man paused briefly, his intimidating aura instantly vanishing, leaving only a slight upward curve at the corner of his mouth. Teacher Bo has a cold? Sang Tian was surprised. Jiang Yunxing also found it strange. You actually caught a cold? Bo Yibai smiled slightly. Everyone can catch a cold. Besides, she's worried about me. Gongjiu pressed her lips together. He had soaked in the mountain spring for so long yesterday, and after she gave him her clothes, he was shirtless late at night, then going through the grass to find his clothes. It would be strange if he didn't catch a cold. But Sister Jiu, how did you notice? Neither Jiang nor I noticed. Because I'm observant. Sang Tian pouted, somewhat dissatisfied. You're playing favorites. Why don't you observe us? I did observe. Gongjiu tilted her head and pointed at him. You didn't wash your face this morning, right? Sang Tian's expression changed instantly. Not listening. Not listening. Bo Yibai spoke up. The cold isn't a big deal. Some exercise and sweating will help recovery. Besides, apart from me, no one else can match you. Gongjiu looked around at the weak, sick, and young around her. She had to silently acknowledge this fact. She unconsciously looked at Bo Yibai. Teacher Bo's face might cause a commotion. We need to change outfits. Both teachers ended up requisitioning scarves and sunglasses from the camera crew. Both had their lower faces covered with scarves and sunglasses on their noses, making their features unrecognizable. But Gongjiu, with her floral shirt, red cotton jacket, black stockings, floral scarf, and sunglasses, looked exactly like a rural fashionista. Sang Tian couldn't hold back and nearly burst with laughter. Gongju insisted. You just don't understand my high-end aesthetics. Then Bo Ibai forcefully pulled her away. The event was called Adventure Challenge, with a 10,000 yuan prize attraction. There were many participants. Gongju looked at the rankings on the big screen. The best time was 5 minutes 30 seconds. How long do you think we'll take? 3 minutes seems too long. Bo Ibai smiled slightly. Let's keep it under 2 minutes. Gongju nodded. That's more like it. If we get the prize money early, we can go shopping. While queuing, they overheard a father and son discussing their variety show. They almost got into an argument about Sun Xiaoxiao and Gongjia's conflict. Gongjio stood silently nearby, experiencing gossip about herself firsthand. Fortunately, they hadn't watched the live broadcast, or they would have definitely recognized her in this alternative outfit. Are you a fan of Gongjiu? Bo Ibai suddenly asked. The uncle nodded, speaking in accented Mandarin. That Gongjiu girl looks sweet but fights and scolds fiercely. My wife's just like that. That's a real spicy girl. Brother, you're a fan too? The sunglasses hid the man's amused eyes. Bo Ibai glanced at Gongjiu and hummed in agreement. Who's your favorite, young man? Bo Ibai's smile deepened. Just then, Gongju nudged him with her fist and coughed lightly. The uncle immediately had a knowing look, glancing suggestively at them. Ah, don't be jealous, young lady. If your boyfriend likes Gongju, you can chase after that Bo Ibai. Now that boy is really good looking. Gongju didn't know whether to laugh or cry. We're not that kind of relationship. The uncle clicked his tongue, looking at Bo Ibai somewhat disdainfully. Young man, you're not doing well. Work harder to find someone. Bo Ibai chuckled and nodded. All right, I'll try. Only Gongju was speechless. I'm standing right in front of you, and not only do you not recognize me, but you're playing matchmaker and matching the wrong people too. Soon it was Gongjiu and Bo Ibai's turn. Their figures appeared on the big screen. The host came over with a microphone, paused at their outfits, but maintained professionalism without laughing. What are your names? Sun Zaiwo Yunxing. Instantly, Sun Xiaoxiao and Jiang Yunsheng in the audience nearly died of anger. Why don't you just use our names directly? They must be doing this on purpose. The host was clearly stunned, his mouth twitching as he held back laughter. Following procedure, he asked, our program requires family units, so what's your relationship? Gongjiu and Bo Ibai exchanged glances, silently asking if they understood each other. They answered simultaneously but differently, siblings, married couple. The couple participating in the outdoor challenge showed zero coordination. They simultaneously gave two different answers about their relationship. Sang Tian covered her face. It's over before it began. Jiang Yunxing laughed helplessly. Didn't they coordinate their story beforehand? Sun Xiaoxiao asked. Can we get a refund on the registration fee? This time the host couldn't hold back his laughter. So are you siblings? Or a married couple? Gongjiu quickly waved her hand, afraid of making another mistake. We're siblings who are about to become a married couple. So you're in a sibling romance? No. Gongjiu was helpless. Being married is ridiculous, but sibling romance is even more ridiculous. Bo Ibai took the microphone, answering smoothly. The bride price isn't enough, so he's throwing a tantrum. The host had a sudden realization. Looks like you're here for the prize money. But forget about winning first place. 10,000 yuan is too little for a bride price, isn't it? Looking at this, the live stream comments were flying. Bo God says they're married. I'm dying. Meanwhile, Bo Ibai spoke calmly. The bride price is secondary. Winning comes first. Mainly, I want to prove to him that my stamina is good. The crowd burst into laughter. Sang Tian admired, as expected of a movie star, good at acting and boasting. Jiang Yunsheng had a strange expression. I think his last sentence might be true, but why does it sound so uncomfortable? Sang Tian whispered, maybe because after today, the whole country will know there's a man named Yunsheng with poor stamina and a rural non-mainstream girl named Xiao. By now, both were sweating profusely. When they appeared on camera again, the host didn't waste words and started directly. Gongjiu and Bo Ibai stood on either side, exchanging glances. The next moment, everyone saw their figures vanish in an instant. The crowd was in an uproar. No one dared to blink. Are you kidding? Do they have wheels under their feet? They're not here to play games. They're here to show off. Police, I want to report 2 aliens. Gongjiu moved without any pause, smooth as silk, reaching the 4th level in the blink of an eye, without even a running start. She leaped directly at the vertical wall, grabbed the rope, and reached the platform in 2 or 3 moves. She turned her head to look, and at the moment she reached the top, Bo Ibai appeared on the platform too, his speed no slower than hers. They pressed the completion button together. All spectators felt their scalps tingle. At first we thought they were stubborn bronzes, but they turned out to be merciless kings. They must be cheating. They cleared it in 15 seconds. Sang Tion's jaw nearly dropped as he kept shaking his head. Are they even human? We all have legs, but I suspect theirs are built differently. Jiang Yunsheng took a sharp breath, surprise in his eyes. Didn't expect Xiao Ju to be so amazing, even faster than Ibai. Isn't it normal for my sister to be faster than Teacher Bo? Sang Tian, as the #1 Jiu fan, wouldn't back down. Teacher Bo being so fast is the real surprise. This man is really capable and quick. However, the live stream warned about inappropriate content. As everyone knows, putting man, capable, and quick together can be problematic. The host was nearly going crazy. May I ask what you both do for work? You're too professional, not giving others any chance. Miss Sun calmly replied, just climbing mountains sometimes, waving hands and doing some dancing. Mr. Yun pondered briefly, just carrying cameras sometimes. Among the three hearing this, only Sang Tian couldn't hold back. The other two indicated they were already dead, R.I.P. Gong Jiu and Bo Ibai's first place was undisputed. Do the champions have anything to say to everyone? No, Gong Jiu shook her head. The host was slightly embarrassed. Then before the award ceremony, can you show everyone your faces? The audience is very curious. No, Gong Jiu refused without hesitation. What if bad people target us? It's dangerous. So you participated masked for safety reasons? The host almost couldn't hold back from cursing. It's just 10,000 yuan. Did you think you won the lottery? Suddenly, there was a commotion in the crowd. Gong Jiu's ears twitched, noticing the audience getting excited. Many people were pointing at her and Bo Ibai. She looked at Bo Ibai and made a hand signal. We've been exposed. Bo Ibai signaled back, deflect attention elsewhere. Gong Jiu gave a thumbs up. Smart thinking. The host on stage was confused about why the crowd was so excited. Suddenly his microphone was taken away, and Gong Jiu's voice rang out across the venue. Look over there. It's Goddess Sun Xiao. And isn't that Sang Tian and director Jiang Yunsheng? Oh my god, I can't believe I'm seeing them in person. Everyone looked in the direction she pointed. The three were instantly surrounded by the crowd. You're dead. Better to die than live poor. What a good friend, sacrificing for you too. On stage, Gong Jiu suddenly held the man's hand. Teacher, let's go quickly. The man was slightly stunned. Gong Jiu slowly pulled him away. Teacher, let's go do something important first. In front of everyone's eyes, the Baijiu couple openly betrayed their teammates. In an instant, the three were surrounded by the crowd, and on stage, Gong Jiu and Bo Ibai had vanished. The two moved at top speed towards the opposite corner of the building behind them. Meanwhile, with the security guards' efforts, the guests were protected. The program's camera crew, knowing they'd been sold out, didn't bother hiding anymore and discussed with the TV station's director. The guests went up on stage to properly greet the audience. Sun Xiao, Sang Tian, and Jiang Yunsheng stood on stage, feeling an inexplicable sense of public humiliation. Especially when the two traitors returned, the three were united like never before. They gave Gong Jiu and Bo Ibai condemning looks and simultaneously moved 3 big steps to the side, keeping their distance. The crowd and live stream viewers were laughing hysterically. The host was also very excited. I don't need to announce today's champions. Everyone knows who they are, right? The venue erupted. Many people shouted Gong Jiu and Bo Ibai's names. Won't you take off your scarves and sunglasses? The host probed. Gong Jiu calmly shook her head. Keep quiet and make money. Stay low-key when you're rich. The host responded, the whole country knows Gong Jiu won 10,000 yuan in prize money. How can you stay low-key now? Before the host could finish speaking about how witty Gong teacher was, Gong Jiu shook her head vigorously. No, I'm Sun Xiao. Who's Gong Jiu? Don't know her. Bo Ibai even played along, leaning in. Hello everyone, I'm Yunsheng. The venue and live stream erupted in laughter again. They refused to admit who they were, leaving only Sun Xiao and Yunsheng to face the embarrassment. Only the three on stage could be angry but not speak, glaring at them helplessly. By the end, Gong Jiu and Bo Ibai still hadn't shown their faces and quickly left the scene. As soon as they left, Gong Jiu and Bo Ibai were surrounded by the three. Sang Tian cracked his knuckles, all three smiling dangerously. I just want to know, did you get the prize money? Gong Jiu proudly removed her disguise, showing the transfer record. She raised her eyebrows. Of course we got it. Rejoice, children. Sang Tian forgot his anger and threw himself into Gong Jiu's arms, planting a big kiss. My sister, my only sister. That's unnecessary. Ju's sister coldly pushed him away. Getting the money is good, but too many people have recognized us now. Jiang Yunsheng frowned. The kids are still here too. It's not convenient being surrounded like this. Don't worry, Teacher Bo and I have a plan. Gongju winked at them. Somehow, the betrayed trio had a bad feeling and wanted to run. The next moment, they slipped out of the wholesale market, having lost most of the onlookers. The camera crew were trying not to laugh. In frame, the betrayed trio were all in rural outfits, floral shirts with baggy pants, old cloth shoes, paired with 2 rustic braids and straw hats. Sang Tian covered his face. Zhang fell into silence. Sun Xiaoxiao had shut down. The 3 indeed looked no different from old ladies going to the city market. As for Gong Jiu, she had completely transformed, wearing knockoff black sportswear with luxury high-end flair. Looking at her handiwork, Gong Jiu stroked her chin. How clever am I? What do you think, teacher? Bo Ibai looked at the 3 country bumpkins. With deeply hidden amusement in his eyes, he said seriously, "We've found this year's fashion trend." The live stream viewers were dying of laughter. Too savage, savagely perfect. When Baiju appears, it's game over. Next came crazy shopping. Everyone bought the clothes they needed. Only daily necessities were left to buy. Why don't we eat lunch first, then split up to shop in the afternoon? It'll save time. After all, if it gets too late, that mountain path won't be easy to walk in the dark. What's happening over there? Looks so lively. Sang Tian pointed at the crowd in the distance. Goose Manor seems to be a place that serves goose. He swallowed and asked, "Is goose tasty? You've never had it?" Gongju looked at him. Sang Tian shook his head. Sun Xiaoxiao suddenly blurted out, "It's delicious, but they're fierce." Jiang Yunsheng glanced at him sideways, thinking he was quite down to earth sometimes. "Yeah, geese are the fiercest. They even chase the village dogs." The children nodded. "I've been chased by geese before. They always peck at their owner's bottom." Gongjiu took the lead, as expected of a village bully. "Today we'll do a public service. Let's eat them." At the store entrance, they heard a man who looked like the owner shouting through a megaphone, "Demander's 10th anniversary celebration. All dishes 20% off. Ring toss game promotion. First try free. Win and you profit." In the long fence nearby, dozens of white geese were walking around. There was a line drawn 1 meter from the fence, where people stood to throw rings into the enclosure. Sang Tian muttered, "Rings everywhere on the ground, but nobody seems to have one. The merchant is quite crafty. The ring toss income probably matches half a day's restaurant profit." Jiang Yunsheng smiled. "It's clever marketing, attracts customers, and makes money." Gongju watched for a while, puzzled. "Is it that hard? Seems simple to me." Sang Tian sighed. "Don't boast. These geese aren't stupid, they dodge. Plus the rings are so small. It's just a merchant's trick. Let's just go eat." Jiang Yunsheng instinctively glanced at Bo Ibai. "What do you think? Should be no problem for someone with special training, right?" Bo Ibai looked down at Gongjiu, his voice sweet and gentle. "Wanna play?" Gongjiu tested the ring in her hand. "Let's try. After all, a free goose delivered to our mouths would be a waste not to eat it." The owner openly challenged Gongjiu. Their group already looked strange, and the owner had noticed them earlier. He instinctively thought they were troublemakers, especially after hearing them call it a merchant's trick. He spoke rudely, "If you can really catch one, that's your skill. Our store will keep its word. Free meal." Seems their earlier words had offended him. But Gongjiu walked over to the owner, speaking sincerely, "Really, if we catch them, they're all ours?" The owner replied sarcastically, "They're yours. If you can catch them, 50 yuan for 10 rings. No bargaining." "That's fine." Gongjiu was completely reassured. "One more question. How much does each goose cost at market price?" "Our geese aren't cheap. Market price is 60 to 70 each." "Any more questions? Are you playing or not?" The owner was getting impatient. Gongjiu stopped talking, muttering, "How to take dozens of geese home will be a problem." Hearing this, the owner was furious, thinking this girl was talking nonsense. "If you can catch them all, I'll call you daddy." Bo Ibai stood behind Gongjiu, hiding laughter in his eyes. "I'll join you." "Great, I'll buy 40 rings for 200 first." The owner grinned, showing 8 teeth, waiting for the show. The two took rings and threw them at the geese. The geese ducked their heads. "Oops, missed the first time. More fun than expected." Gongju smiled. "Fun aside, let's be serious," Bo Ibai said softly, hiding his smile. "Otherwise the kids might cry later." The children indeed looked pained. 200 yuan was a big sum for them. Seeing this, Gongju stopped playing around. Don't worry, these geese will be ours soon. The owner laughed openly. He snickered and made a please gesture. Stop talking and throw. Let's see you catch any. In the live stream, fans commented that the owner was quite arrogant, but none believed Gongju could catch any, as it required skill. However, the next second, holy shit, she caught one. No one saw how Gongju threw it. She just casually tossed the ring and easily caught a goose. Then the geese in the fence seemed paralyzed. 10 throws, 9 hits. These moves left Sang Tian dumbfounded. Gongju maintained a calm expression, speaking flatly with a hint of, life is lonely as snow, regret. What silly geese, they don't even know how to dodge. Hey boss, why are you interfering? The owner's face had already fallen. He grabbed a broom to chase the silly geese, making them move around. The rules didn't say the geese couldn't move. Let's see you catch them now. The crowd made mocking sounds, but Gongju didn't mind. Does your earlier promise still stand? Whatever we catch counts. The owner replied confidently, if you can catch them. Then Gongju took 10 rings at once and scattered them toward the geese. The spectators all thought surely none would hit, but the next moment, even though the bullies were moving, those 10 casually thrown rings somehow perfectly caught 10 geese. The owner's stiff smile looked like a dislocated joint. His broom hung awkwardly in midair as he stared at Gongju like she was some kind of monster. Gongju turned back proudly. She gave the owner a brilliant smile. The camera perfectly captured this moment. Haha, Gongju's smile means uncertain fate. With Gongju in the village, she'll take everything. The owner was about to cry. Suddenly, everyone felt sorry for him. Wiping cold sweat from his forehead, he couldn't help but speak up. Catching the same goose twice doesn't count. Only one per goose. Oh, is that so? Gongju acted enlightened, her tone deadly teasing. Boss, you're so kind to remind me. I almost wasted half of my remaining 20 rings. Gongju gave a thumbs up, sincerely praising the owner as an honest businessman. You're a good person, directly giving him a good person card. Bo Ibai's eyebrows raised slightly as he gave Gongju a meaningful look. He had received such a good person card before. Thinking about it now, this girl's good person cards didn't seem like compliments at all. Gongju threw another 10 rings with 100% accuracy. Up until now, excluding the repeated catches, 25 village bullies had become Juje's possessions. The owner couldn't care about face anymore. If this continued, he'd lose everything. With a bitter expression, he said, I was wrong. It's just a small business. Please stop, miss. If you continue, I'll have nothing left. Can I refund you for the remaining 10 rings? Gongju could barely hold back her laughter. Fine, I won't use the last 10 rings. I see you've lost quite a bit today, and I feel a bit guilty. But in business, honesty is fundamental. Look, I have 25 geese. You said there were 70 to 80 left. Since we're destined to meet, I'll give you a 20% discount. Let's say 60 yuan each. How about that? The owner was devastated. In the end, Gongju couldn't fulfill her wish to sell the geese. Not only could she not sell them, but the owner didn't even want to do business anymore. He just wanted them to take the geese and leave quickly. Everyone looked at the 25 village bullies with slight headaches. We're going shopping with a flock of geese following us. Isn't this scene a bit too wonderful? Jiang Yunsheng could only smile bitterly. They had been too excited earlier. Should we sell the geese? As soon as this was suggested, the children all looked disappointed. Let's take them back to the village. We don't have much left to buy. 1 or 2 people can stay while others go back first. But does anyone know how to herd geese? The children looked at each other and shook their heads. Tiger Valley Village wasn't wealthy. No family had ever raised so many geese. Just then, Sun Xiaoxiao quietly raised his hand. I know how. Everyone turned to look at him in disbelief. You know how to herd geese? Then everyone decided. Sang Tian and Sun Xiaoxiao, the 2 girls with the least stamina, would take the children and geese back to the village first. As for Gongju's trio, they would go purchase the remaining large items. However, when they heard about delivering to Guku village, no one wanted to go. Nobody wanted to suffer through that deadly mountain path. Jiang Yunxing pondered, can the 3 of us carry all this stuff back? You just carry the TV. Boibai gently pushed Gongju, preparing to take the heaviest items himself. Gongju instinctively shook her head. No, I'm worried you'll hurt your back, Teacher Bai. Boibai's eyebrows raised slightly as he stared at her intently. You think my back isn't strong? You think my back isn't strong? Bo Ibai's words. Gongju inexplicably remembered last night's moonlit scene of that beautiful man getting out of prison. especially the water droplets sliding down his well-defined muscles. She blinked, stealing glances from the corner of her eye. The man was fine indeed, but men still needed to protect their backs. The audience collectively lost it. Another day of mental exhaustion and lost dignity. Suddenly Jiang Dao felt his existence was so redundant. Little Jiao, don't be like this. Jiang Yunsheng covered his face. Leave me some dignity. I didn't say your back was weak. Jiang Dao, Gongju said confusedly. Jiang Yunsheng smiled bitterly. You didn't say it, but you've divided up all the heavy items, making me look weak. Gongjiu and Bo Yibai said in unison, aren't you? Jiang Yunsheng protested that telling the truth was too much. I should have gone with Xiang Dao instead. Don't cry. Let's not argue with inhuman people. Shortly after setting out, the cameraman rushed over urgently. What happened? Just got a call saying teacher Sang and others had a car accident. Is everyone okay? People are fine. The car just got scratched. But teacher Sun was beaten. Sun Xiaoxiao was beaten? Gongju sensed something wrong. What exactly happened? It turned out the geese ran away, and they encountered thugs trying to steal them. Hearing this, Jiang Yunsheng immediately sent a message to Jiang Rui's at the outdoor club. At this moment, Jiang Rui's had already left there. Upon hearing about the incident, he rushed over immediately. Meanwhile, a thug-like man was cursing at Sun Xiaoxiao non-stop, holding a goose by its neck, clearly acting like a hoodlum. Behind him were 3 more men, glaring menacingly at Sun Xiaoxiao's group. Sang Tian, carrying equipment, was furious. Seeing their arrogance, she couldn't help but snap back. Big men hitting women. What kind of people are you? And stealing our geese. Still daring to film? Damn it, turn off that camera. Sun Xiaoxiao crouched on the ground, looking wronged, with children surrounding to protect her. Stop arguing with them. Let's just call the police. The thug leader maintained his fierce expression. You think I'm afraid of police? You saying these are yours doesn't make them yours. Where's your proof? That bitch grabbed me first. If we're talking about assault, she started it. Don't think I don't know the law. I was acting in self-defense. Sun Xiaoxiao stood up immediately, trembling with anger, even wanting to charge at them. Sang Tian quickly held her back. We can't fight them now. You stupid woman, act tough again and I'll kill you. The thug leader pointed at Sun Xiaoxiao, putting on his tough guy act. Who are you going to kill? A woman's cold voice came from behind. Sun Xiaoxiao's group instinctively turned around. Sang Tian looked like she'd seen saviors, watching the 3 radiant figures. Gong Jiao took the lead, methodically rolling up her sleeves, walking toward the thugs. Sun Xiaoxiao instinctively looked at her. Gong Jiao glanced at her. Injured one. Go rest on the side. Another damn woman? Pretty face though. What are you gonna do? What am I gonna do? Gong Jia's raised eyebrow suddenly dropped, her voice turning cold. I'm gonna deal with you. Gong Jia's principles: respect the elderly, love the young, protect food. In apocalyptic times, stealing food was a crime as serious as killing one's father. In an instant, Gong Jia flew out, jumping 2 steps. She landed a full-force slap on the lead thug's face. The sound of impacts could turn brains into mush. The 4 thugs lay on the ground seeing stars, noses bleeding, faces swollen like pig heads. Gong Jia's fighting style was fierce and ruthless. Everyone was stunned, not daring to approach. Only Bo Yibai remained calm, grabbing the cameraman's equipment. He made a gesture at the camera, eyes smiling. You didn't see anything. The next moment, the live stream was mercilessly cut off. Celebrities bullied by thugs while herding geese. Gong Jiao enters apocalyptic female warrior mode. In quick succession, all thugs end up black and blue. Bo Yibai grabbed the woman's wrist, his deep voice wrapped in laughter. Hit them anymore? These guys will end up in ICU. Gong Jiao remained calm, eyebrows slightly raised. Don't worry, I know my limits. Bo Yibai hummed in response, taking out a handkerchief to wipe the blood off her hands. Your hands are dirty. Next time dealing with such people, use your feet to kick. Gong Jiao nodded. I'll remember that. Bo Yibai looked at the woman's serious expression, his lips curling into a smile. He carefully and gently helped clean the blood from her hands. Everyone around was dumbfounded. After all that, Teacher Bo, weren't you trying to stop her from killing them? Why are you all still standing there? The geese are about to run away. Gong Jiao looked at Sang Tian's group questioningly. Sang Tian glanced at the 4 unconscious robbers. Sister, your moves were incredible. I'm even starting to feel sorry for these thugs. They're gonna be traumatized for life. At this moment, Jiang Rui's, who had received the news first, finally arrived. He carefully examined the woman, while Sang Tian was confused. He took a deep breath. Thankfully you're not hurt. What a coincidence. Just passing by. Why are you all here? Though they didn't know why he was there, nobody believed him. Sang Tian was about to expose him. Honestly, your acting needs work. What acting? I'm here to find my brother. Zhang Yunxing didn't expose him either, but his eyes said everything. So what now? The robbers would naturally be handed over to the police. Although these people look more like victims, in broad daylight, these 4 attempted robbery, assaulted victims, then accidentally fell and lost consciousness. Zhang Yunxing nodded. Not only that, they made verbal threats too. It's all on record. Sang Tian and Sun Xiaoxiao were stunned. Was this really the Bo superstar and director Jiang they knew? Gongju agreed. Those 4 had guilty consciences. With such little courage, they dare to rob? They're lucky they didn't die from the fall. God, these 3 are devils. Suddenly remembering something, he looked at the 6 children nearby with a troubled expression. Oh no, forgot about these flowers of the motherland. But the children were shouting, the 4 bad guys deserve to fall. Bad deeds get punished. Serves them right for not watching where they were going. Gongjio was surprised, whispering, oh no, we've corrupted the children. They were so pure. They can't be corrupted. Bo Yibai looked at her, voice full of affection. Fighting crime is everyone's responsibility. Sun Xiaoxiao looked at him with mixed feelings. Gongju had embarrassed her, but also stood up for her. Even saying thank you felt awkward. I won't be difficult anymore. I'll try to cooperate with the team. Gongju looked at her for a moment, then said, don't wipe the nosebleed yet. He held Sun Xiaoxiao's hand. Teacher Sun, time to show your acting skills. Cry your heart out in front of the police officers later. Otherwise, it won't be convincing. I believe in your acting ability. Sun Xiaoxiao held her breath, couldn't help but roll her eyes. Damn it, all that emotion, gratitude, thanks to Gongju. Can you be human for once? After everything was over, Sun Xiaoxiao finally examined her face carefully. Though the doctor said it was fine, she worried about scarring since her face was her livelihood. Has the wound been treated? Zhang Yunxing sat down carefully. Yes, it's been compressed with a towel. Sun Xiaoxiao was surprised by his sudden concern. Actors can't be careless about these things. Let me help you treat it, Xiaobao said as he carefully applied medicine. If it hurts, tell me.